Yo, what's up? Detroit is definitely in the building via your headphones, stereo speakers. I'm your man's the African Caesar. And of course, this is the Sneaker Box Morning Show on Woodward Sports Network. I'm joined here by my co-host, the contrarian. He always has to be the one. You know, they say 1 out of 10. He's that 1 out of 10 that has to go against the other 9.
That's me.
Yes.
What's up, people?
And then we also have Mr. Bot Topic himself, the hype beast of the show, Dunks.
We're repping for Brett Hall today.
Oh, God. Yeah, if anybody's seen our video on Instagram, where we did the sneaker reviews.
Yeah, that was you were pretty animated. I thought that was great.
guys tore him apart.
It
was Brad Hall. He tears himself apart.
Yeah.
Happy Detroit Day to everybody.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
And you got
3/13.
the nerve to.
Yeah, you know what's funny? So last
Are you from
week,
New Orleans now?
Shout out to Mitchell on Nets, by the way. No, so what happened? So last week was our first show, and so everybody got mad at me for not wearing Detroit apparel, and I was like, well, that's kind of cliche. Like, I don't want to wear just Detroit stuff. Like, it should be known we're from Detroit. Like, the name of the network is WoodwardSports. You know, like.
Well, not everybody knows where
it's in
Woodward's
Detroit.
at.
Like, anybody's been listening to the show.
Yo, what's up?
They know
What's
this
up?
network is from Detroit.
Is
So,
definitely in the building via
point being,
headphones, stereo speakers. Of course, this is your man's the African Caesar, and I'm joined by the rest of the crew. We got the contrarian of the show, Geeno.
What up, people?
Always got to be difficult for no reason.
Wow, no, not at all.
It's true.
I'm here off a bit of a hangover, so bear with me.
What happened?
Party animal.
I had a long night. That's why I got the Verner's here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Verner's cures everything, according to black folk. Black folk, Verner's is like our cure-all for everything. But then we got Mr. Bot Topic, our hype beast of the show, Dunks.
Yes, sir.
And then we got the North Star, our Reverend Dr. Pastor, Deacon,
What's up, man?
Guru. What's
Somebody
up,
got to keep this. Somebody got to keep us real. Hey,
This clergy, like that's
This clergy, this is anything, one man show at
I
church.
mean, that's what happens when y'all the worst. It kind of put me in this predicament.
Man, get out of here.
You are the worst.
But nah, before we start off the show, before we get into anything else, for anybody that's been following the show for any amount of time, you know we came from Podcast Detroit, and if you listen to the show, you remember Dave. He was our producer then, and you know he would be a welcome addition to the show. He would always have something funny to say. He would always intervene with his knowledge, like when we talked about whether or not sugar belongs in spaghetti. He defended Cleveland to the death. You would have thought he was from Cleveland. And there was some other conversations we had, but unfortunately, he passed away this past week. So we want to dedicate today's show to Dave Phillips from Podcast Detroit. We send our condolences and our prayers to his family, along with the Podcast Detroit family, Caitlin and Bob and the rest of those guys. So, yeah, it came as a shock. I don't know if anybody wants to say anything.
One thing I wanted to say was it doesn't matter what the topic was, if it was stocks, if it was pro wrestling, if it was sneakers on our show, whatever it was, he was passionate about it. He did his research. You know what he was saying. He was a well-rounded individual with a good perspective on life. And I'm sorry to hear this news, and you know, condolences to his family.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, man. It's man, like it was. The crazy part is, I had just talked to him. A few hours before I got the news. Like you said, Dave, we would talk about a whole bunch of stuff. And Dave's thing with me was we would talk about movies and television, and we would nerd out about that, what he would. And so he would get me to watch stuff. And so he got me to watch this one show, and I made the mistake of watching it right before I went to sleep. So I ended up binge watching it and getting no sleep. And I called him just to like, yo, thank you for that. Like, because I got 2 hours of sleep and I got to go to work tonight. And we laughed about it, and then probably about 6-7 hours later, I get a call, or I get a message from Bob, who's co-owned Podcast Detroit, telling me the news, and it was just like, it makes you think about the fragility of life. Like, you know, it wasn't like he was sick. It wasn't like he died suddenly in a car crash. It was just poof. So hug your loved ones, hug your friends, and tell you love them. I love you guys.
Yeah, it's just rest in peace to Dave, man. He was also, when we was doing the Half and Half podcast there, he was also our engineer a couple times, and you know, he was just a cool individual. He didn't intervene on the show. He would kind of interject when it was necessary. Mm-hmm. You know, he wasn't overbearing. So, just rest in peace to him and his family. I mean, rest in peace to him. Condolences to his family. And man, just life is very precious, and you gotta, cherish it for real.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely always enjoyed kind of like the that little bit of extra he added to the show, because it's interesting when looking at the comments from the post that was posted about his passing. Is you see a lot of people that said, they enjoyed him being on the show just as much of all of us being on the show. They really felt like, he was, he was really part of the show. I mean, because he really added a nice dynamic to it. So, I mean, it's like you said, that was a shocker. But like you said, rest in heaven, to Dave, and condolences to the family, and like you said, to all the podcast Detroit, because like I said, it seemed like they had a real tight-knit family. So
and he was the glue, so
I will say I'm sure he's proud of what we're doing in our current situation. And if he's listening, tell the Ultimate Warrior I say hello, because we would always talk about him, and he had his belt hung up in the
so that was the thing
studio.
So two things I want to mention, and then we'll move on. But one, we were talking, and he was talking about one day coming over and teaching us how to make, because he's Italian, so he wanted to teach us how to make sauce from scratch. After that long conversation about sugar and spaghetti,
because it does belong in there, just like it belongs in grits.
You know what?
Because of Dave, now you gotta do it.
He got me correct on that. He set me right. So I was wrong for once. And then when we left, that's the thing. So when we left Podcast Detroit and to come to Woodward Sports, he was happy for us, like genuinely happy for us, like to the point where he was like telling everybody he was proud of us, and he wanted to come up here and surprise us. And that's you very rarely do you meet people like that who are just genuinely, authentically nice and supportive and encouraging. And this one hurt, man, a little, because it was just like, damn, like all the good ones go early, and so anyway, rest in peace, Dave, man, we love you. So on that note, we got some other topics we're going to get into. Nike is transitioning from a marketing company to a tech brand. And it's funny because we just had that conversation with Nightwing last week. And it seems like a lot of employees aren't sold on the move. So we'll get into that. Speaking of Nike, they're also cutting off retailers like DSW to further their goal of DTC dominance. If anybody doesn't know what DTC is, that's direct to consumer. And we
you just pulled the dunks.
Right, yeah.
We discussed the controversy that was the Lil Nas X Air Max 97. But first, this is the Sneaker Box Saturday morning show right here on WoodwardSports Network. Make sure you go back. If you missed any episode, make sure you go back and catch all our videos on the YouTube channel. We've been posting clips on our IG. And, of course, the podcast is still up and running on sneakerbardetroit.com. And if you want to call us, make sure you call us on our voicemail hotline. We're getting the phone lines up eventually, but for right now, leave us a voicemail at 248-677-1803. Whether you got any sneaker-related comments or questions, or you want to respond to whatever nonsense we said on the show.
Or if you got dunks hate.
Yeah, if you got dunks hate. If it's just pure hatred of dunks, like we'll take that too. Pure unfiltered hatred of dunks. We'll take that as content, and we'll play it on our next show. Also, make sure to follow us on social media. Follow us on Twitter at TSB_radio. Follow us on Instagram at the Sneaker Box. Oh, my bad, not radio. TSB_show. We're a show now.
I was going to say, man, we stepped it up.
Yeah, we stepped it up.
We went from a podcast to news anchors. That's what I'm telling people.
I mean, we did go technically from podcast to radio to a show now, I guess. So
what's next?
I'm proud of us.
Hey, people ask what I do. I'm a news anchor in Birmingham.
I mean, you ain't lying. I mean, technically it's true.
It's all about the story that you tell.
Yeah.
It's framing.
Yeah. Context. Follow us on Instagram at the sneakerbox_show, and then look us up on Facebook by looking up the Sneakerbox radio show page. All right. Anyway, let's get to our Fab 5 sneaker releases of the week. Starting at number 5, we have the Bodega Special Edition Vans Vault OG Style 36 LX. I like the materials on the shoe. The tongue, it depends on how the light hits it. I didn't know it was that shimmery when I saw them at first.
What's your beef with stuff that's shimmery?
Nothing.
What's your favorite part about this shoe?
What's my favorite part about the shoe? I just like
The Vans
honestly,
wave.
I think they look clean. If I had to get a pair of Vans, maybe the pink part, I ain't really feeling too much.
When me and Geeno brought up materials, you used to drill us about materials.
No, I said I actually like the look though. I said it's a clean look. Obviously the materials, they look nice.
I've always been a fan of Vans, and this looks kind of higher end materials on their average sneaker, I'll say.
Yeah, and the thing about Vans, what I like,
this is the shady for the record. This is the Shady Records cam. We got Royce and Marshall Mathers. You can go back real quick. What is it, Mark? You know what I'm saying? This is the Shady Records cam.
Slam
dunk.
Maybe we did it backwards. We're working on it.
Yeah, we'll get it right.
y'all gonna be every black and white duel in history, basically.
Yes, facts.
Frank Sinatra
Coco
and
Beware and
Sammy
Owen
Davis.
Hart.
Huh?
Coco Beware and Owen Hart. Shout
I'm
out
not
Dave.
going to be Coco Beware.
He called you Coco Beware.
Wow.
Wow. Did he have the
He had the bird. Yeah.
Man.
Coco Beware
I
was
was waiting on the bird
trash.
noise.
He was so trash.
Oh, man.
Man. He's
Might
a
be
Hall of
one of
Famer, ain't he?
He is in my book,
Virgil should be in the Hall of Fame,
He should be.
right next to Flash Funk.
right? Well, Rob Van Dam just got in the Hall of Fame.
Rightfully so. And He's
Yeah.
from Michigan.
You seen his wife?
No.
Oh my God.
I'll check that out after the
Gee.
show.
Slam.
Dunk.
Oh, my
We
God.
almost
How many
missed it
times y'all
again.
gonna do that today? Where's the? We need a bail, goddamn.
We say that every week, but we never bring one, so
but
we're
I
not
don't know.
getting one.
Can we highlight our trophy? We have a trophy today.
Yeah, we do. You know, you can pull it up. Geeno can't reach that.
Yeah,
His
that's-
arm
that's
is
a
too
little-
little.
Interns.
Well, take that
Interns.
take that reach tool right there. yeah,
You mean
take that
interns,
reach
do
tool.
something
You
with
could
interns.
please
Take
grab
that
our
reach
trophy.
tool and school. Yeah, there you go. Take
Yeah,
that
there
reach
we go.
tool over there.
There we go.
Real quick.
Let it be known.
You wanna
best sneaker show
here.
there is.
Come here. Come
Hey,
here.
come here. Nah,
come
that's
here,
how you
'cause-
talk
no,
to
no,
him.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
disrespectful.
Come here.
God damn.
No.
Scorpion.
Hey, look, just walk out. Just walk
African
out.
Scorpion.
Get over here. Nah, because me and him, he always, come here. Come get in the front. Can you see him? You got your jersey in there? Okay. No, so, okay, get out of here.
Oh, so he got Mitchell Ness
Get out of here.
jerseys?
Huh?
They sent him jerseys?
No, they didn't send him jerseys.
No.
Jesus.
No, did he send them that jersey?
No, they didn't send him
No,
jerseys.
of course
You
you gonna
messed
say
that
that.
up.
Now, of
No,
course you
that
gonna say
backfired.
that.
Mess up.
Yes, you
That
did.
backfired on you.
How'd that backfire on me?
Because
you
you
know
know
you
wore
about to
Joseph
go off.
before,
I
and you
didn't
ain't
get-
never supposed to go on camera. You
Ask-
specifically
did I get you that
asked him to
jersey?
come in.
Thank you.
Of course you're gonna say it. He's on your payroll. But anyway,
Focus on the
come on,
trophy.
man. I
Focus
see
on the
what it is.
trophy.
Now the fix is in, man. The
Okay,
fix
so
is
no,
in.
what I was gonna say is that he's always my nephews. I got my other nephew over there, but I'm not gonna bring him up here because he was talking all that smack the other day. But anyway, no, I just wanted to bring him up here because they always call themselves trying to bring out their jersey again. So
That's
he
crazy.
brought out
That's
his
crazy.
he brought out his Iris,
Genetically
which is nice.
conceded.
Well, but here's the thing. So today you're from New York.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every week you're going to be
Now,
repping a different.
now let's get back to
part of
Guru
the
though.
country.
Get back to Guru, then we get to this trophy. Okay, first off, I told them all I can do is relay a message.
So let me get this right. Guru, probably the longest podcast member outside of Jumpman, Bostic, and Sneaker Girl, right?
Yeah.
Don't get jerseys, right? The intern who's been here for 4 weeks gets jersey, right? Coincidentally, he's from your family lineages and is your nephew, right?
Uh-huh.
So my thing is, everybody who seems to get a jersey is related to.
Who's everybody? One person.
Listen, related. He probably got something too. He probably
And
can
he
wear
already
it,
had,
you know what I'm saying?
First of all, he bought his own
The
jersey.
jersey.
He bought his own jersey.
With your coupon code.
No.
Whatever, man.
It's an African Seas coupon
Exactly,
code.
bro. Whatever, dog.
No. Matter of fact, he had it before the show, before he was even on the show.
I know because Mitchell Ness has been sponsoring you since way back when you was doing those those
commercials.
crab cheese commercials for them.
Hey, they've been sponsoring him since the double XL days.
Yeah, exactly,
Wow.
man.
Man, I don't even know how we got on this topic. But anyway, the trophy. You want to talk about that real quick?
It wouldn't be possible without the listeners, and thank you guys. And even though you guys have all been here longer,
Wow.
I look at this as my trophy as well, and this means the world to me. Vote
Yeah.
for us again this year.
You care way
Y'all
more
better.
about it than we do.
Yes.
Yeah, just put it in front of Dunks. Like, he can have it.
Yeah, this
honestly.
is my
It-
trophy
it's
now.
really
Thanks,
his.
guys.
Yeah, he can
Teamwork
have it.
makes
Like,
the
it's
dream
literally
work.
his now. I'll bequeath it to you.
He probably got a bigger one and gave you the smaller one.
It's actually made out of gold, too.
That's
marble.
saying like some C stuff
Yeah,
to do.
I can-
Yeah, the real one at home.
Yeah.
Number 4, we got the Skepta Special Edition Nike Air Max Tailwind 5 Bright Blue. I thought these were clean. Actually, real
I
clean.
mean, it's-
But I don't think this model gets enough love anyway, though. I don't care if it's a collab or if it's a dope colorway. I don't think people gravitate to this shoe for whatever reason. Not anymore, at least.
How many Air Maxes has Skepta collabed on? Was this like the third?
Gotta
I
be
feel
the
like
third.
it's more than 3.
Nah,
Could
it's about
be
4 or 5.
Yeah.
I remember
like
there's the
it's been-
static joints
I
from
like
a few
the
years
white
ago.
ones with the red and blue swooshes. It was like one on each.
Now, Skepta is from overseas, right?
UK,
believe
right?
so.
Yeah. And so maybe maybe that's why it doesn't translate over here. He gets a lot of love over there, and so maybe if he had some name recognition over here, maybe
You know what
shoes
does
would move
well
more.
in Europe? Those Adidas night joggers. I was over there, and
Yeah.
you see them everywhere. And in the U.S., they don't even sell. So I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, it's a
They
lot
do
of
way more
runners and
walking than we
walkers.
do.
Yeah, we're a pretty fat country.
Yeah, so
Speak for yourself. I've been trying to cut back.
yeah, I mean, plus they walk everywhere, so. I heard those shoes are pretty comfortable. I never had a pair, but I heard good things about them. So
Yeah, well, now Adidas is about to send him a
So,
size.
there you go. We want to get night joggers and cargos and Geenos.
let's hope so. Number 3, we have the Nike Cortez Los Angeles. I'm mad
Those
I
are
didn't see
fire.
these.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
about to
mad I
get
didn't
in
see
here.
these.
Didn't they? Weren't those supposed to drop last year?
Were they?
See, you got the intel, did they?
Honestly, I don't know. Like, I just found out this week. Honestly,
Every time I say I don't like this shoe, I get attacked. So I'm just not commenting.
you don't like the Cortezes?
I don't.
Why?
I don't. It's just not my shoe. The toe, especially, I
Have you
don't
watched
like.
Boys in the Hood before?
Yes.
How do you not like this shit?
It's just not a sneaker for me.
That's surprising.
No, there's never been one colorway I was like, oh, okay, I'd rock this.
What
Nah,
kind-
their fit is extremely tight, but I've
Oh,
kind
the
of
fit is horrible.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I've kind of tried on a pair that wasn't so bad.
Now let Kanye wear them. Well, if Kanye wore them, would you wear them?
Oh, I don't even want to tell you. They're making that Yeezy Croc in a brown colorway.
Well, of course. That's
I'm not surprised. That
expected.
seemed to be the
Yeah.
color of the year for them.
I mean, looking at brown's not a bad color, fellas. Yeah, I'm just saying.
You
know,
can't
it's
argue
not-
with that.
it's
Like,
not-
as much as I want to, like, I can't. Dunks. You got me there.
I need a bell.
I said it's not a bad color. I didn't say it was the only color. I just said it's not a bad color.
It's the only,
Oh,
it's
man.
the only color that matters.
Yeah.
Slam.
Dunk.
Dunk's waiting for that vanilla bean drop to come out. Anyway, number
French
2.
vanilla.
We have the Nike LeBron 18. I'm gonna just call these the University Blues. Now somebody said what the, but
I heard
then-
it also was supposed to be the I Promise, but we don't know. Nike just
The
put
who?
it out. The I Promise
for
possibly.
the
but
school.
Oh, yeah.
I just put it out there. Nike just put it out there and just like, all right, next thing.
Hey, can you put that shoe back up?
I was going to say, what happened to the LeBron watch? Did that just disappear?
Man, it dropped the
Watched
ball
it go
on the
away.
23rd.
Yeah, like they just stopped out of nowhere.
23rd. Them Dodgers come on the 9th though.
But that's not a LeBron watch, is it?
No. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
The
They
first one was
hyped
good.
the month up
The
and then
second
just
one,
went
they
away.
dropped that All-Star shoe that he didn't even wear, I think. And then the next one, they didn't have no shoe release, so they ended up restocking LeBron 8 Lakers.
No.
It's like, how you...
Go
But
ahead.
then they go ahead. But so we'll see. Hopefully it's better.
No, I was gonna say, isn't the Air Max part of the watch? Because when I go on
No,
the
but the
sneakers
Air
app,
Max was pushed back to April 1st.
Well, I was going to say on the
So there
sneakers
was
app,
nothing
like you
that
said,
dropped. They end up just restocking LeBron 8 just to have something out. Like
on the sneakers app, it keeps showing that's LeBron watch, which I'm
yeah,
like,
like the background has that
we
LeBron watch.
passed the month,
Yes,
you know,
yes,
to be
yes,
able to do
LeBron
that. So,
watch,
I don't,
I mean, but we do know like this year is gonna be wonky though as far as the releases.
well, then
'cause,
don't do it then.
Okay,
Tell the people over at
you
Nike.
tell them. You got a camera.
I mean, no,
They-
you got
okay,
the contact.
Guru, you say it so that he
We
can.
know you're listening. Now.
I got you. I got this.
They're good. Put a mic close. We need to put. There we go. Guru Cam,
I got this.
Get 'em.
Okay. Right.
and make sure you put his name. No, put Guru up under
This
there.
is
They're gonna
Afrikan
listen.
Caesar calling in from Nike headquarters. I'm here to speak to the CEO, please. Password 45693.
Wow.
Access granted. He'll be
Damn.
with you in a moment. Then that's where C's will come in, do your thing. C's, tell them what the people want.
It's like he's on the phone with us. It's crazy. It's just all the information he has. I feel like my phone has been tapped.
Nah.
Maybe someone botted it.
Maybe I wouldn't put past none of y'all up here, but
I mean, I don't know how to buy it. I'll just resell it.
yeah, you are the Marcus Jordan of.
Hey, he'll even sign his thank you note with it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Number 1, the Nike Cosmic Unity Space Hippie. Yep.
So you voted, or this is
No, that's me. No, I put that up there.
I have mixed feelings on
And
this.
you made it number 1 too, right?
Yep, I did.
So this always goes back to what we always say: the
What?
people are not making the list. It's,
No, this week they didn't.
What
This week they
sneakers does
didn't.
this remind you guys of?
I would say the Reebok questions because of those pods.
That's what I'm seeing. I just wanted to make sure we're on the same
mean, but the
page
Zoom
here.
Flight 9 was that Zoom Flight 96 had them big
They did.
bubblized.
And then the back end of it kind of reminds me of a Kyrie.
I like the silhouette, but not this specific color.
Yeah,
This is probably the best color to me.
I think I'm gonna get a shooter. I think I'm gonna get a pair that try to.
I do like that colorway, but I'm not a fan of the silhouette.
What kills me though,
Is this marketed as a lifestyle shoe, a
No, it's a
basketball
basketball shoe with recycled materials.
Yeah, I do like the space hippie thing they got going on. How they, the different silhouettes they got. Some look good, some don't.
Is this part of the Space Hippie collection?
Yeah.
One thing I'll say is I hate the boxes they come in. Because it's not double box, it's just one package and they ship it as is.
Well, they're trying to minimize.
People like me and Geeno have a hard time reselling it when you tape the sneaker box.
I don't know about that because when they come in the store, they come in the cases of 6, just like the other shoes do. But I mean, they're trying to the shoes of a recycle-based theme, so minimum packaging materials possible.
It makes sense.
So I was able to get a pair. I haven't gotten it yet, so I'm interested to see how it feels. Why are you laughing?
They haven't dropped yet, but I have one on the way.
They dropped Saturday.
No ties tonight. Y'all know what you talking about, but
They dropped. Today's Saturday. They dropped yesterday.
They dropped at his doorstep yesterday.
Well,
drop ship.
Yeah.
There's two different drops.
Well,
release drop.
He had the Butler
and
sign
then
for
a
it.
Nike
No, but
drop ship.
he's familiar with having drones deliver shoes to him. It's happened
Absolutely,
before,
yes.
so
Yeah, absolutely.
No, see, every
Someone
time
say
I go into that
drones?
subject, StockX sends me an angry email, but
What
about that drone thing.
StockX still exists?
For now.
Oh, I didn't think so.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't heard from him in a while.
If I can chime in real quick about StockX or any similar middleman platform, as of right now, you don't get hit as a reseller with a 1099 form unless your sales exceed 20,000 a year. They're changing that to 600, which is going to weed out a lot of the people. The game's going to change significantly, and resale is going to take a big hit from this, which will make it
No, is
easier on
that
the
just for
consumer.
StockX or is that across the board for everybody?
Across the board, eBay, Goat, any middleman platform.
Wow.
No, like, for example, if you and me meet up, do a cash deal, whatever, but if there's a middleman platform and you exceed $600 in sales, you get
they
it with a
keep a record of
1099.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
but like, we're currently operating under 20,000 or more.
Right.
So that's a huge, drastic difference.
well, so now more
People
people,
ain't gonna
just
keep
aren't-
track of
yeah,
that.
Well, now more people just not going to use the platform. They're just going to use Facebook Marketplace.
Hey, we're
going
gonna
to
have more stupid
Offer
stories
up.
about people
Yeah.
getting
Oh
robbed.
yeah, This Week in Stupid is gonna just go out of control. But
So thanks for the content. Thanks, StockX. That's the one thing they did right.
yeah,
I
thank
think
you.
more so the powers that be pushed them for that.
What you mean the powers that be?
Good that government for us the taxes. Like, yo, you making a lot of money from these people.
Well,
so
I
we
mean,
need 1099.
because for a long time, at least on eBay, you didn't have to pay sales tax. It was just shipping.
yeah, that was the government though, because
Yeah,
that
the
came
government-
along
yeah.
after the other three. But I'm talking about far as hitting them with 1099s.
Well, if you're making like millions of dollars just on sneakers, Lord knows whatever else y'all making money on,
Bell.
and you don't get that sales tax. I mean, think about that. Like, how many
StockX
sales?
does charge sales tax.
No, we're talking about from the
From the
seller point.
beginning,
yeah.
So as if they saying you making money, if they're gonna charge barbers with tax, and they definitely gonna charge you for tax.
But once
you're
they-
making about 6 figures reselling shoes.
Yeah, once they started hitting eBay up and the rest of these platforms by making them incorporate sales tax, you kind of knew that it was coming as far as because they're gonna get the cut. If the government is gonna do anything, they're gonna get their cut. So I'm not
behind
surprised.
Caesar
I'm
getting
not
his
shocked.
jerseys.
What?
Right behind Caesar's getting his jerseys.
Oh, wow, man. Okay, we still on that.
Yeah,
But
we
anyway,
still
going
on
back to that.
We still on that.
Going back to that space
Every time
hippie,
I
though.
look here, he got jerseys
Hey, so
on
if you
Mitchell.
are reselling, author inventory within like the next 6 months before this changes. That's my tip.
But it's
So-
still gonna be a
So when
paper
is the
trail.
official date? You know?
I do not.
Okay. So just within 6 months, though.
They said next year and didn't give a date. So I would just be ready for changes to come.
Okay. Well, with that being said, going back to that space hippie though, like I think it's dope. I can't wait to get them. I wonder how they feel on foot.
They got a full length A strobo like the PGs.
Yeah, they got the Zoom trouble. Yeah, so we'll see. Anyway, ugliest release of the week.
All right, what
And-
Yeezy is this?
No, it's not. It's the Kid Cudi special edition Adidas Vadawan.
Kid
326.
Cudi let me down. I've been waiting for the Kid Cudi sneaker since I heard rumors of him. I was so excited. This is the biggest letdown.
I don't know what the hell this
I
is.
think if you just if you took the straps off and then made that heel a little bit lower, like a normal high top, it wouldn't have been that bad.
Yeah, it does feel like he's doing too much.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. So
It's just
Shoot,
like
I have nothing nice to say at all.
I'm very disappointed.
I mean, and that
before-
colorway ain't doing it no justice either.
Before this, they had him collab on like a Bill and Ted sneaker And it was like, how dare you slap Kid Cudi in the face with this? But then they give him his own model, and it's even worse. And that's
my thing is, even though I may not like it, if that's how he wanted it, and Adidas let him put his shoe out, I can respect it because at least he got to put out whatever he thought his design process or his thought was. Man,
not everybody. That's the problem I have with that is not everybody's a sneaker designer. That's like saying I appreciate the DIA
like it, though. It's
putting up this person's finger painting. Like not everybody's an artist.
That's a pretty good analogy.
So, no, I'm saying there's a such thing as subjective, right? Like so, what I like, you might not like, and what you like, I might not like. But there are some things that are just definite garbage.
But here's my thing though. It used to be we used to have a majority thinking, but now we're in a minority, and the hype beasts are taking over. So if everybody likes it, then
I can't speak.
I don't even think a hype beast. Well, hype beasts don't even like the shoe. He right here.
No, and I mean, I'll even listen to Kid Cudi's trash music and listen to him hum whatever. But this I'm just not going to tolerate.
This just turned into a bash Kid Cudi moment.
No, I'm a fan, but not everything he does is gold.
You don't sound like a fan.
Nah,
well, this makes it even worse.
You dissed his music, on his melodies, and then went on to say this is above all that I dissed.
Yeah, when he was taking too much acid, the music got bad. Man on the Moon 1, classic.
You think he wasn't doing something?
Corey, what the people saying out there?
His early stuff and his recent stuff, good. In the middle, awful. Same with Kanye.
I mean, that goes with any artist, though.
Any feedback?
It goes almost with any artist.
Music aside, the shoe's trash.
What?
That's my opinion, not fact.
I mean, I kind of like it. I like it. It's different.
It's on our ugliest sneaker list.
You said you like it?
In all fairness.
Kid Cudi.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the shoe.
No, not the shoe. No. His music.
I thought you liked lyrics.
His music. That's what I'm saying. It's different. I can get with him. Like it's okay when one person is kind of doing it, but you got like a whole genre of people doing it. Then it's like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like one person doing it and they stand out. Okay, you being different.
Is Kid Cudi on your top 5 list?
No.
Okay, I had to make sure.
What about top artists? Is he in your top 10 list of artists?
Top 10 list of artists right now or ever?
It's ever.
Ever? No.
Or what about right now?
No.
What about yesterday?
Maybe like 6 years ago.
No.
Not even there.
Yeah.
I'm happy he's in a better place mentally. He's finding his happiness. His fans have him back, so that's why I'm appreciative of that fact. So
I saw him at the last Complex Con performing, and I mean, he put on a great show. He's very involved in the culture, I'll say that.
Why do I feel like the last Complex Con was years ago?
Because it was.
Yeah.
Was it 2019?
Yeah.
Both the last Chicago and Cali were canceled.
Yeah, honestly, I hope they stay canceled. Anyway, Corey, any feedback?
I got some people saying this looks like something a woman would wear.
What those Kid Cudis?
The Kid Cudis. That's what is one of the latest comments. And then also it's easy. It's awkward. That's why I know you're talking to me at first. You're talking about one of the interns at first, so that's my bad. But it's easy.
The Yeezys.
No, I'm easy. Corey's the other black dude on Woodward Sports.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. Excuse me.
Yeah, look, see?
My bad.
All black people looking like Nazis?
Well, him and Corey, I mean, if y'all see them.
I don't think they do.
Of course you don't.
I'm a little lighter.
Dunks doesn't see color.
That's a nice save there, Dunks.
Literally.
That's why he ended up here. He can't tell.
Yeah, he thinks he's doing the show with 3 other white people.
Yeah, he's like, why do you guys look gray?
Yeah, what do you mean?
That's a grayer than normal.
Oh, man, y'all ain't shit.
Get it from you.
Thanks.
Says the leader of it all. Exactly.
Oh, man. Let's get to our coming soon real quick. There's a number of shoes that, don't necessarily have a release date, but they're going to be coming out literally soon, so heads up. First shoe is the Nike Air Foamposite 1 Orlando Home. I actually like these. I think they could have did a little bit more with them, but, I mean, I know, put them up. There we go.
It's all right.
That looked like the Shatter Backboard one, just without the graphics.
Well, if you saw it from the front too, it got that white piping with the blue stitching and whatever. I do think
cool.
I can't remember, but I remember the pack that came out with the penny sixes.
Mm-hmm. It had something like that.
On the Foamposite, didn't it have like the stars on there or something?
Yep.
Yeah,
so that's already been done. Okay.
This is basically the third remix.
Okay. Oh. I don't know. Maybe the outsole, or maybe that carbon fiber plate could have had some. It could have been black and blue.
Yeah, I don't know. The yellowing on that gonna be nasty as hell.
Boy. Nasty. In the summertime, gonna look like you've been stepping in snow.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe they could have made the bottom blue.
Yeah, that probably been a little better, but
yeah, something. But I don't know.
What about the black? They could have black pinstripes, maybe.
Could have. I don't know. I personally like Foamposite, so even like a decent colorway, I might buy it.
I'm surprised they didn't run this by you.
Huh?
I'm surprised they ain't run this.
No,
back.
Well, that's why
nothing
it
by
came
me.
out. Well, that's why it's coming out.
They don't run
did.
nothing by me, man.
Yeah.
I don't know why
He
y'all
was
like,
like, you know what? Take the pinstripes off when it come out on the show. I could say we should have added pinstripes.
Wow.
I'm on it, man.
Actually, wait, time out. I'm surprised you didn't have nothing to do with this. Like him asking you what you thought.
I mean,
and then him just taking
look at
and running with
Puffy,
it.
man. After you done sample so much, man, you can
The
start
killer
doing
thing
your
about
own.
Guru is he act like he wasn't up there with me talking to them.
I wasn't in that room when you gave away all my ideas, though.
We was in the same room.
For exchange for product.
We was in the
This
same
is crazy,
room.
man.
Now,
We was there.
It's like Cadillac Records with sneakers.
We was there for a week.
What did you do with Nike? You
We was
treated
there for a week, bro.
you treated him like a stripper and was like, look, I got a couple
No,
extra
we had
dollars.
to-
Let's go
we
to
had
the
to-
back.
We was there for a week.
We had to
bro.
sit outside while he went to this
Yeah,
one meet with
subliminal.
Nike basketball.
Gino.
We
We was there for a week. We went to every meeting together.
No, we did. He went to Nike basketball meeting by himself. We had to
That was the
walk around
first one. Okay, that was the first meeting.
And what
That
kind
was
of, hey, look,
all
what kind of shoes
Nike
now? Yeah,
basketball
exactly,
shoes.
right?
That was the
Nike
only
basketball
meeting. That was the
shoes.
only meeting I went by myself at. That
That's
was
the only.
it.
That's the only.
Hold
shoe
up,
that's-
didn't all the up tempo start dropping like right after that?
No, the up tempos already dropping before.
No,
that.
you added gasoline to the fire, so that's what even more dropped after that.
No, but you was there. You had an opportunity to
I
talk
was
to the
there,
people
so
too.
that's how you know.
Is that why you hype up all the LeBron so much? Because you went to that Nike basketball meeting?
Yeah, that's why
You don't have to
those
legally
burgundy
answer
ones
that.
was very hard to get. He got them.
They wasn't. I don't know how hard they were, but I
Exactly.
And I got this off of eBay.
Herbert.
You got
they
this off
were.
of, you got this off of, you got this off of LeBron's foot.
Yeah, exactly. He were at 15 too. You see the Joe Herbert in them. They were hard to. I mean, not really.
Dog, I got them from eBay because I don't know how hard or not hard they were to get. I know I got them off of eBay for a decent price.
Man, did they have to kill like a baby
No box.
cheetah cub to
Have we
be able
already
to put
shared
this
your
on
beef
here?
That's
with
why there's no
eBay?
Lion King
Huh?
3.
Have we
because
shared
he
your
killed
beef
the-
with eBay?
Killed the hyenas
My
for that
beef with
shoe.
eBay?
Yeah, have we talked about that on the show? or was
No,
that-
so I mean,
Oh,
look,
yeah,
I
I'm
know
ready for this.
It's a-
I'm
it's
ready
a-
for this.
when I saw you
Wait.
say it, I was like, "That's an interest." Like that didn't even cross my mind, but you brought up a good point for like OGs who know what they're doing.
Yeah,
So
so,
let's we can finish this list. Don't you want to finish the list and we get into eBay?
okay, yeah, okay, let's finish this list.
I
and
got
then
my
pin
beef
that
with
note.
eBay. Go ahead.
The next shoe, the Nike Kyrie 4 keeps Sue fresh, and I like the story behind these. So,
Oh,
Sue
those are
Bird.
nice. Those are very nice. Those
So
are
this
high. I
shoe
might
is for
cop those.
Sue Bird. This is kind of like her PE, and I thought that was pretty dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like trying to put more of a spotlight on the female athletes, especially in the WNBA.
I'm gonna wear these to work and then tell my boss I have to be gone for about 2 weeks. I'll be back. I'll let you know when I'm coming back.
Wow, why?
I gotta give it up to Kyrie, man. He treat the NBA like a normal job. He takes PTO. He calls off. He comes like he really treats the NBA like a regular
You
job.
think he got FMLA?
Yes, he does that. He's like, I got personal reasons. Like, bro, you all know your birthday is this weekend. Like, I just the same way. I'm thinking like, man, it must be nice.
I mean, I ain't mad at him.
I mean, well, that just means he living a normal life.
Yeah, but if I was making about $35 million a year,
So we
Lil
losing.
Guru, we in LA, that's where we're gonna have your birthday party at. Or Daddy on the road, so as we come back, we're gonna throw a huge party. Social distancing. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just you could have, stuff like that.
No, I ain't mad at Kyrie.
Everything comes.
But I really
with
like this shoe
give
though.
and take.
This shoe is actually pretty clean.
I mean, I like last year's version of the Keep Sue Fresh.
You don't like this?
I'm not a fan of Kyrie lows. I
This
don't
is
like
probably
any
one of the best
his
looking
lows.
lows.
I was gonna say,
It's one of
And
the
that,
better
and that
looking
Air
lows.
Max 2
But
when he had last year.
This is another one of those situations. I'm not entirely sure what colors I see.
These are nice.
we know.
You know they got like a Henry Ford Optimize right up the street. Man. You can, like,
They can get me
they
glasses, but they can't
got
correct
LASIK
your-
surgery.
I was gonna
You know
say
what I'm saying? Like, there's
no, I'm
other
pretty
things.
sure WoodwardSports has like a
Because
LASIK sponsor as
you
well.
can't,
Yeah.
if you're gonna be buying shoes, you need to know what colors you're seeing. You know
I
what I'm saying?
avoid stuff like that. And my favorite sneaker of the year right now is the Wasted Youth, which is an all-black sneaker.
How you know it's black?
What if I'm wrong?
You're missing
be
out
real
on
messed
so
up,
many
wouldn't you?
good sneakers because you can't really see the color.
Well, this one specifically. But
What
anyways,
colors do you see?
I'm about to get my eye test.
Yeah,
I feel
this
like
one
this
is
should be a
rough.
segment.
It should be.
It should really be a
What colors
segment.
do you
The
see?
bottom right part is blue.
Gap.
The
Okay.
swoosh is citrusy vibe, if
Yeah,
you will.
mhm.
That was really specific for someone who can't see color.
That-
Go ahead.
dude, I'm like, come on, keep going. Man. You 2 for 2 right now.
Come on.
It's the upper I'm really struggling
What
with.
does it look like?
I'm seeing shades of green.
Yes.
That is green.
Motherfucker, you can see color then. So you know we black.
I see colors, just you don't see every
We
shade.
taking your stick. We taking your walking stick from you. We need a pair.
Damn, Daredevil, you really can't see everything.
We taking. You know the color bar.
You think he's slick parking in handicap spots,
Yeah.
We taking all of that.
getting out, filling his car as if he can't see it.
The average male colorblind is mixing up like red and green, blue and purple, not seeing black and white. But
you
either
just
way,
named all the
You
colors on
named
the
the
shoe,
green
though.
and the blue, like
the front and back are different. I'm seeing 4 to 5 different shades.
What's the front color?
That's where I don't want to answer because it's embarrassing.
No, what does the front color look at? The front bottom.
We talking about the
Pinkish.
outsole?
That is pink.
he can
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, you said all the colors.
Hey,
I gotta sit here focusing.
You know what? No, I know what it is.
Royce,
No.
Get your man Marshall, Royce.
No.
Come on.
I know what it is.
I'm done commenting.
He been sitting next to Guru. Guru healed him.
Maybe.
That's what it is.
But no,
say
here's
Guru healed him.
Here's the thing, though. Like, this is
Could
funny
be.
as how scared he is to answer the questions as if
Caesar
it's
gave-
life
Well,
or
no,
death.
sometimes you look and it's obvious, and other times
Yeah.
it's like I have a pounding headache and I'm not sure.
That's because
and-
Caesar
Well, I
gave
got a
him,
pounding headache because I'm still hungover. So.
Caesar gave him the Nike contacts, so he can see all Nike color shoes, right? The other shoes, he can struggle with Adidas shoes, some of the other colors like that, right? So it's the C's gave him the Nike shoes.
Hey, look, with the one
Zeke
tier.
gave him the Nike shoes.
Oh wow.
That's that glory tier.
Cyclops? He called you Cyclops.
That's that
Hey,
glory
sneaker-
tier right there.
sneaker
But no,
Cyclops.
no, I'm telling
But
you,
like,
you giving that
I've
joke
put some
legs.
terrible fits together, and I think you guys have seen it. So every now and then
Nah,
it happens.
I mean,
Nah,
well, we could just blame that on you can't dress.
I'm going to blame that on one of our former sponsors, Minimal, for.
We ain't gonna blame it on you being colorblind.
Hey, you
Let's
better
just
get
tell the truth.
C's. You better get my man a Mitchell Ness makeover.
Hey, look, Mitchell and Ness, because we know y'all listening. That's a good idea.
Like
Take
a
him out to
lamb chop
Philly.
intro song. This ain't gonna never end.
This would be like
on
no TV shows where he goes. It'd be like that montage of him just coming in and out of the dressing room wearing different jerseys.
Can we put him in Negro League jerseys?
Oh man,
Yeah.
yes, let's do it. The next shoe, the Travis Scott Nike Air Max 1. I think this is a mock-up. I think Nice Kicks did this one, based on the photo.
It's definitely a mock-up, and the way they were teasing it, I expected it to drop already. So I'm a bit confused what's going on with this.
exactly. I thought it was gonna drop for Air Max.
I mean,
But I will
It's-
say the backward swoosh, it's
It's getting old.
Yeah.
played
it's a
out,
little
bro. Like,
redundant
it's
at this
no
point.
longer created. It wasn't created the first time, but I don't know. I'm not feeling this shoe because it looks like you know how they make the snow, the winterized versions of sneakers, and it has that upper where it looks like it doesn't have laces and stuff. I know it does, but from this angle, it just looks like a.
Well, that's because
a
you can't because of where the looks like where the lace loops are at. It's kind
Yeah.
of tucked inside.
Yeah, it's just. I ain't
Speaking of
feeling
Travis Scott, you see he just launched a series of wine coolers
it. No.
for those alcoholic spritzers or whatever you call them, cacti, and without coming out, it's like the #1 beverage already selling. It's like a White Claw type deal.
I'm telling you, man.
Did,
the power of hype.
did you put that on StockX yet?
I don't think you can sell alcoholic products. You can't even ship alcoholic products to certain states, including Michigan.
The power of hype, man. I'm telling you, man. A celebrity can literally come out with anything, including this shoe, and people go crazy over it.
Except for Kid Cudi.
Well, yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure Mitchell and that stock went up after they gave you your deal.
Exactly.
I'm gonna have to look into that.
I'm telling you, man. It's a
People
gift that keeps on giving.
Joe Namath's been selling more than Vic this week. Never them birds could help, huh?
That's why I can't have nothing nice. Next week I'm just gonna come in with like a
look,
dirty T-shirt.
The Jets just gonna go back to their
telling you.
throwbacks now.
The
Just
price,
to see
of
where that-
private jets done went up because his jersey, the color green's been sold
Wow.
out.
Joe
Not because of Easter either.
Joe Namath came and gifted him that jersey.
Exactly.
Wow.
Man. It came with a fur coat too.
And he was drunk.
He probably was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
No, he was the first Brett Favre.
Man, no, Joe Namath he's his own special person. This next pack, I don't know what to think about it. This is the Air Jordan 1 to my first Coach pack. And the reason I don't know what to think about it is I'm trying to figure out what the storyline is between this pack and how this colorway correlates to that. Because it's called To My First Coach.
Yeah, but it looked more like Easter.
Out of these, I like
Yeah.
the mids the most.
You said what?
Out of the three I see, I like the mids the most, which you don't hear many people say.
Well,
I mean,
you like
with that-
mids, though.
Nah, they've been selling it because they've been selling
Yeah.
like crazy.
Because I'm not feeling
Only in small sizes,
What
though.
that high?
high
we
is
selling out.
what version is that? It's like the Comfort High or something.
That's what
or
it
the
looks
Zoom
like.
High?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never felt those.
You're not a fan of the comfort? Huh?
No, I don't know, man. If you're gonna give me a 1, just give me OG Air Jordan 1. Just I don't need all that extra stuff. The lows I ain't feeling. The mids I never felt. So
I mean, the mid and the lows look like they're supposed to be women's or kids'
That's
shoes.
not even a real low for real. That's like
That's a
mid, like a
3/4
a
low.
three-quarter,
high
right?
low.
Yeah.
Well, I know why they made the low high because Caesar worked driving high low. So now I know
I don't
why.
even drive high lows.
That's why
We pray to God he not driving
Yeah,
high lows
yeah,
as much as
high
he be
lows,
sleep
yeah.
at work.
I got a desk job. What you talking about?
I mean, if Homer Simpson can run a nuclear plant sleep, then Caesar can drive work out crisis.
How many times did he destroy
We need that
Springfield?
bell.
I mean,
we really
how
do
many
need
times
that bill.
Carson had recalls?
Not a lot.
So we blaming it on
Not a
C's.
lot. Nope.
We blaming it on
Nope.
C's.
You recall free baby. You thinking about Ford and GM. We've been good.
man.
But nah, these shoes, I've never really felt any of those shoes up there. And I'm really, like I said, I'm trying to figure out how the colorway correlates to the theme. I don't know. Maybe they can explain it. But then again, Nike is
Maybe it's like my
not focused on
first Coach
storytelling
purse.
anymore. So, huh?
Maybe like my first Coach purse.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe
That could have been it.
that makes
I
more
don't see
sense
no
than.
basketball coach theme.
Well, don't they have isn't the other part of the pack, isn't the 35 a part of the pack as well?
Mm-mm.
I could have sworn I seen the 35.
They might have a part of the colorway, but it's as far as what I've seen, it's the Air Jordan 1 pack.
I mean, I'm just saying, knowing how Jordan Brand likes to do with colorways.
Oh, you know how they do, yeah.
They're gonna slap that colorway and that name, that branding on probably a 35, probably
Yeah, because they're trying to push that 35. They trying to, so whatever they can, whatever.
I mean, what they should do
I'm
is the
surprised they
stuff.
come out with a
That
Chicago
tongue
one.
was just too big. That's too big on the 35. I think that's what's pushing a lot of people away.
I mean, the stuff they be having Jason Tatum wear, they should just drop.
They do.
No,
No,
like the
they
no,
like
no,
PEs.
yeah, that's what that
Like,
that
he's
animal
dropped
stuff.
the PEs.
What was that?
The one
The
last
kind
year.
of like the Arizona green tea can.
It was like a teal green with red and lime green or something on it. That
It
one,
was
that
gold
PE,
hits and stuff, man. That
They
shit
just
was
dropped
nice.
that PE.
Where at?
It was online. So I saw somebody. I saw it on eBay. I saw the confirmed order picture, and I saw a dude who actually had it in hand.
Well, man,
they
that's
dropped
so-
his PE.
Oh, you talking about
last
the
year,
colorful one? We talking about the PE he wore, where it was like that.
It's one he wore about a week or two ago.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like that Animal Pack 2.0.
Oh yeah, that.
Oh, okay, yeah. The
Yeah.
34 he did, they dropped. He dropped.
Aren't
the
you a
cover
big fan of the
model.
animal packs?
Not
It
that 11.
depends.
There.
I was gonna say you wasn't
Fair.
about to catch me up on that.
Which one?
I think we showed it on
Well, I
one
like
of the
the
past
3.
episodes.
Like when they did the Animal Pack 3, I like both of them.
Yeah.
I like both of those.
I like the 34s too. 34s were decent.
I mean, I
the
feel
only
like
animal stuff I like
The
was some of
35s
the
I'm not
Atmos
feeling.
Air
I don't know. I
Maxes.
gotta see more pictures, but as of right now,
I
I'm
mean,
not feeling
usually
them too much.
they don't miss when they kind of throw the pony hair and the different animal prints, except for that 11 that they're supposed to be dropping.
I'm waiting to see the finished product of that.
Can you
you
fly?
already
Can you
did.
fly up to Oregon and just tell
You
them?
already-
No,
you already saw the finished product.
I don't have that pull. I don't even
already-
understand where this is coming from.
Yes, you
We know
do.
y'all.
You just
I
don't.
don't.
You
That
real.
sound like- it sound like
it's
some
like
hate to
you
me.
halfway humble about it, but you're not.
It sounds
So-
like
Halfway
jealousy.
humble. I
It
like
sounds like he wants to talk about an NDA he signed.
You signed one too, homie.
I ain't signed the one you signed.
Nah, bro.
Exactly.
You signed a
I
whole
ain't
bunch of
signed.
them
You
that
cannot
week.
release any information as far as the 2021, 2022.
The only ones I signed was the
2023
ones we
releases.
all signed that week.
Nah, you signed
That's
the other
it.
ones. You signed
That's
the
it,
other
America.
ones.
Don't believe this bullshit.
Speaking of NDAs, do you want to jump into your beef with eBay and then kind of go
well,
over some
no, let's
of the
get to
legal?
these next 3 shoes and then we'll jump into it.
Yeah.
So
he
the next
basically
shoe.
told you to shut up.
No,
Thank
we
you.
got it.
That's basically what you did.
No, I didn't.
You sunned them.
I mean, I feel like we all do that every show, but
I don't sign people.
that's not specific to me.
I don't sign
I don't do that to dunks.
I don't sign people.
Well, now that y'all
Because
got
we like focus.
y'all got y'all.
Thanks, man.
Boy. Oh man.
I appreciate y'all what y'all do for the community, giving like box food and everything like that.
Exactly.
I
No,
really
we
appreciate
we
that.
trying to bridge the gap.
you.
You know,
Anyway, the
of
Reebok
racial
S4
relations. Slam.
Done.
Motorsport. I don't know how to feel about this shoe either. This next one is Reebok. I really
This
don't
looks
know
like a
how to
Hot
feel.
Wheels toy.
I was gonna say, can we just put the white and reds on there? Not
Real
just,
talk.
Yeah, not even.
This
just
feels like a
take that
kid's
off.
shoe.
Just get that
Hey,
off there.
When I was in 7th grade, I took this like tech ed class and we had to make race cars out of wood. This is what it looked like.
Yeah, I don't.
You did that in what grade?
7th.
Man,
Yeah,
we did
of course,
that when
I
I was
can't-
in
I
like the
can't do
Cub
it.
Scouts, man. You was behind
I can't do it. I don't know what.
We're,
You was a
I don't
Cub
know,
Scout?
Jewish. We don't do Boy Scouts and all that
You was a
stuff.
Cub Scout?
for like 2 years.
You get your money? You know they was giving away money for people in who's Boy Scouts.
Well, that's because they were like,
I didn't do Boy Scouts. That was totally different. Hey, Boy Scouts is when you was
that
like,
class action lawsuit. They
hey, Boy Scouts was totally different. There is a difference between Boy Scouts and Cub
hey,
Scouts.
can we get a spoof sponsor, Boy Scouts?
my goodness.
There's a total difference.
That's a slam dunk moment.
Gina, you stay after class. Only 2 to you one
Wow.
on one.
Here. You need this more than I do.
No.
Hey, where are the trophies that they touch you?
All right.
Somebody hold up a
He was
dollar.
like, how you do that again? Slim what? But go ahead, man. Yeah, this shoe terrible. They took a classic shoe and just basically
Butchered it.
made it look like
I don't know what this is about.
a NASCAR souvenir shoe.
Oh
So
man, Boy, okay. Let's get to the next shoe.
Isn't it supposed to be a Hot Wheels collab though?
No, Hot Wheels.
That's
collab.
just somebody.
That's what I thought. No, that's legit what I thought it was supposed to be.
I mean, you would think so with all those stupid flames on there, but somebody at Reebok was like, "This is hot."
Literally, it must have been the Adidas department stepping in.
Yeah, Adidas is trying to sabotage Reebok.
Yeah, let's
but
go.
I mean, if they're trying to sell them, you would think they would put
that's
more
what I
hot
was
shit
going to
out.
say. Typical Adidas.
No, I meant the marketing team was like probably legitimately trying to give them advice.
That's crazy how the flames on the shoe are harder than the shoe itself.
Boy.
We'll go ahead.
Next shoe is the Adidas Yeezy Foam Runner Mineral Blue. I don't think there's a colorway that make this shoe look good. But,
that'll make it look less bad.
No, it really looks like the Superman spaceship.
No, it look like a clam.
It look like
no, it just look like a clam, like in
something
the water,
I don't want to wear on my feet. That's what it look like.
All right, just get to the next show because nobody care about
that. All day.
Yeah.
No, we always laugh at this, and I knew this was coming. The Nike PG5 PlayStation 5 pack.
I started to send this.
These are not bad.
They're not bad, but it's just funny because
every year,
like his shoe sucks unless it comes in a PlayStation
or
collab.
a NASA. Which they usually do like 5 different variations.
Yeah.
Here's all I need to know. Do they have flashing lights?
I wonder if this shoe. I mean, is it gonna have the lights on?
That's a make or break a deal for me with the PS
They still look clean when nonetheless lighter bright. If you
I
want
like
some
the
light
white
up
ones
shoes,
better.
go to Walmart aisle H21. You can get you some light up shoes. But
every time my heel hits the ground, I want to see a little light.
I like the white ones better. I think the blue pair, if the midsole was blue as well, I think would have been better. Or black, or I don't know. But I like the white pair better. I'm just interested to see.
I mean, the white pair look more PlayStation-y. Like I said, that blackish blue one look more NASA.
Yeah, it looked like a custom.
Yeah.
It don't look like an actual release. But I'm interested to know if any part of that shoe, because don't all of this collabs with PlayStation, don't like the tongue or something flash on and off? So
I think it's a button you press on the original
ones. Yeah, all the PlayStation
ones
have lit up.
It's been some that just
the 2.5s, the PG was the PG ones.
The 1s and 2s I know do.
Yeah, a lot of that.
No, I think I could have sworn it's been because they did them for all of them.
They do it for last year model.
Well, not the 4. Who wore the 4?
Yeah, they do it for the 3.
Did anybody wear the 4?
Yeah, I got like 4 4s.
4 is terrible.
Yep.
Got
I ain't
4
talking
4s.
About Biggie-verse. But yeah, I got like the 4s. They were comfortable. People hate them, but I like them. They was comfortable.
I just don't like the way they look. Now, I do think the 5s are an upgrade, but not by much.
Yeah, it doesn't have a shroud.
I do like how I don't know if they're still available.
So
on
all
Nike.
that shrouds look ugly.
No, I'm just saying that's what that shoe would make me think is they probably looked at it and said the shroud on the 4 was so terrible, let's just take it off.
Nah,
so if the 4 maybe didn't have the shroud, trying to look like a GP, it probably would look pretty good.
I do like the options on Nike ID for this shoe though.
Yeah, that's the better options.
Yeah.
They gave you a better.
I mean, you got
they gave you more options, but they didn't give you no colors to play with.
That's what I mean. You can like,
but you got better paneling that you
the
can
paneling,
kind of,
like
you can mess around
do the different colors on either shoe, right or left.
You could do one shoe left, one shoe right, different colors.
So I do like that part of it. And then lastly, the Adidas Yeezy 380 Boost Alien Blue for people that are interested in these. These look, I don't know, man.
I think I'm gonna get me a pair. Because I want to get I had a couple pair of the 350s, and they don't look right with jeans for me. I guess you over a size 10.5, your feet look long and like mushy, but I think I'm gonna get a pair of these.
So that's the thing. You see the shoe, and then every time I see them on foot, it looks even worse. And I don't.
It's a higher cut than what Yeezy fans are used to.
Yeah.
In terms of comfort, I'd say it's the most comfortable Yeezy that's currently out.
Yeah.
In terms of looks, it's not my favorite, but it does have a following.
Yeah, the blue oats are nice. It was another color that just dropped, the salt and peppers. So I'm about comfort mine. Once you get a 30 man, you start to look like what's some more comfortable sneakers.
So
well, unless you season, you're getting gifted Jordan 1s all the time.
And then your shoes have, you got Jordan 1s with air strobles in them. You know what I'm saying? You got, Jordans with Hexalite technology and all the other stuff, man. You stole from Reebok, but
wow,
it's a blessing. Though.
Borrowed licensed technology, I believe.
Absolutely. How you think you know so much about lawsuits?
I can't win. I can't win.
Perfect segue.
I can't win.
Anyway. We got a special surprise.
eBay.
Speaking of lawsuits.
eBay. So the reason I got beef for eBay. No, I wouldn't even say beef for eBay.
Stupid on Twitter and everything. Go ahead, because
we're not even safe, bro. We're not even safe.
No, the problem I have with it is because they're trying to compete with StockX, right? So StockX and GOAT and everybody, they feel like they're taking up the market share. But you're going to have that anyway, no matter, like, as long as there's going to be other platforms, the market share is going to spread out somehow, some way. Now, you know, they might not take up a big chunk of it, but, I mean, even 1% is still a loss, right? So, point is, they're trying to authenticate shoes and all this other stuff because they see StockX doing it. And I always tell people, like, look, just because you see another brand doing it don't mean you got to respond. Because, first of all, you got to find out how this is all going to play out. Now, for StockX and GOAT, it's played out pretty well. And so now eBay is trying to do the same thing. My whole thing is you should give people the option because I stopped going to StockX for a whole bunch of reasons. And then even with GOAT, I went to eBay because I could just buy the shoe I wanted and just wait for the shipping. Now that they're authenticated, now I got to wait almost 2 weeks. Every time I bought a shoe, I had to wait almost 2 weeks for my stuff. And that's mostly because, and I don't know if people know this, but the people from SneakerCon are doing authenticating. Mm-hmm. So pretty much they only got one hub, which is in New York. So no matter where your shoe is in the country, it has to ship to New York first, have them authenticated, and then you get it. And so I don't know how many people they got working on it, but I'm guessing not enough. So I'm just saying if I'm eBay, the authentication process, I would leave more as an option. So like if you go to buy a shoe and you're comfortable purchasing that shoe, you should be able to opt out of the authentication process.
I agree it should be optional or up to the customer.
Yeah. I opt out. I take on all the liability. Like if anything is wrong, outside of the shoe not coming as in the condition that the pictures show, then, I should be able to take on a liability without having to go through the authentication process. Now, there are some people who don't know the difference between the shoes and whatnot, so they need that. So they can utilize that tool if they need to. But for people like me and...
Well, then they shouldn't be shopping on eBay.
Or put it like this. There's certain shoes I'm comfortable looking at, and there's certain shoes I'm not. So
Right.
it's like there's sometimes it would be beneficial, and sometimes where I'm like, I don't need it.
And also, sometimes the pictures don't do an adjustment once you get the shoe in hand. I would say, like...
I'm talking about obvious stuff. Like if they say it's dead stock and you get it and it's all beat up and worn.
No, I'm just talking about even like we know people who don't work at StockX and or to go whatever, that some of the shoes, the fakes have gotten so well, you need like UV ray lights or certain things that sometimes even goes to the box.
Yeah.
If the box is too perfect or whatever the case may be. So I understand it, but my thing when I was reading your tweets is, why wouldn't you just message the seller and say, "Hey, man, can you?"
Because they want. So that's the thing. Once you do the authentication thing, you can no longer contact the seller. You can't.
I'm talking about pre-buying the shoe.
Pre-buying the shoe. What you mean?
Like I do this with sellers all the time. Like I message a seller like, "Hey, man, can you just do this for one ship?" Or say, "Hey, man, can you instead of the authentication, can you remove the authentication from the post and just send it to?"
Well, see, with in that situation with the box, I understood that it came in black box. It didn't come in the original
I'm saying
box.
you can, once you just prior to making that purchase, message the seller and say, "Hey, man."
I didn't know, but the problem is I didn't know until I got the shoe what the issue was. So there was no issue previously to me getting the shoe. It wasn't until I got the shoe and I'm looking at the box label and I'm like, this look fake as hell. Mm-hmm. And then that's when I tried to reach out to the seller, but you can't. Mm-hmm. And so I reached out to eBay and, we went through that whole process or whatnot. So had I seen something or had I known something previous to me making a purchase, because that's what I do. I look at all the pictures. Mm-hmm. If I got any questions, I reach out to the seller. Hey, can you give me more pictures or can you explain this, this, and this? And then if the explanation of the pictures are okay, then I'll go and make my purchase.
I'm talking about far as the opted in and out of authentication. I'm saying once you just message the seller and say, "Hey, man, could we do this purchase, this per transaction without the authentication process?" And
but how am I supposed to contact the seller?
You can message them before the purchase. I'm talking about before, because the purchase will be only when you go to the site listing. It says,
"Oh, you saying buy the shoes around eBay, going around or circumventing eBay?"
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying
that's
this is what I do. Like, so there's like a Jordan 12 I looking at, right? I think it's like a 2004 playoff, and it says authentication, right? It says it on there. I would message the buyer and say, "Hey, man, could you remove the authentication so I could just buy the shoe and get shipped out immediately?" Because they can remove the authentication, they can opt out on their end from when
they can't.
Once they list it as authenticated, they can't remove it.
Now, if it's listed as authenticated, Well, I mean, I don't know how that is. I never encountered that. I never encountered a shoe that was previously authenticated. As far as what I've seen, every shoe has to go through the authentication process.
Only over $100.
Over $100.
Yeah.
Over $100.
Well, no, because I had a situation. I said it before. The Travis Scott 6 I had.
Yeah.
I tried to sell it through eBay, and because of their authenticators, they said that it wasn't an authentic pair, even though it was. Because I don't know who they have checking the shoe.
Yeah.
But it doesn't give you an option to basically
go opt out for the seller.
Yeah, you can't like, and as soon as you send it and they say they deem it like unauthentic or anything like that, you can't send it back on there and say, well, I'll just take the authentication off.
Because I'm not talking about from the initial. Like when you posted your shoe on there, right?
Yeah.
Did you choose to have it authenticated?
It didn't give me an option.
It don't have a choice.
If you post it for a price higher than $100, you have no choice. You can't opt out of authentication.
Because I see certain shoes listed dead stock. That's like $250, $260. They don't have the authentication.
I think also it depends what shoe it is, because like I said, mine was a Travis Scott.
Because at first,
I think certain stuff.
Because
at first it was just
you have dope shit.
At first it was just
not
Yeezys
like you.
At first it was just Yeezys and Jordans. Now they're like authenticating everything.
But I see the Jordans. I was like, it's like 4 or 5 shoes I've seen that didn't have it. They were like Jordan 1s, 12.
But I think
you might have seen something that somebody bought, had authenticated, and then is not flipping again. So if
I didn't see the eBay tag or nothing like that on there. So that's why.
So I don't know. I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense to me, because every shoe I've seen has to go through the authentication process. And my whole thing is the perk of going through eBay was to get it quickly. If I wanted to wait 2 weeks, I would go through StockX or GOAT or whatever. Like I hate waiting. Like I really hate waiting. I really do hate waiting.
That's why he got the Nike plug.
So
that's why.
So like going through eBay, like I don't want to have to pay $200-$300 and then have to wait 2 weeks for my purchase. Like I want my stuff as quickly as possible. Like when I go to the store, I ain't gotta wait 2 or 3 weeks. I'm able to get it right then and there. So
on the topic of these middleman platforms, an important note for listeners, it was in the news and all over sneaker Twitter recently. When you buy or sell on GOAT, you have money in your GOAT account, right? Well, GOAT accounts are getting hacked, and that money, once it's gone, it's gone. So people who leave big amounts of money in your GOAT account, that's not your bank account, it's not safe, and you should transfer it out.
Most definitely.
And that just recently caught my attention. I felt it was necessary to
only
share.
one account, as far as money is concerned, is insured, and that's even up to a point, but that's your bank account, so you definitely want to put it in your bank. But eBay, if you're listening, which you are, look.
He's a size
like
15.
These
Make this right.
Right here, these right here, DS 250. They not. I see a couple posts like this, no authentication on it.
Yeah, but I think the other part too is I think it's a certain year that they have to come out, because I think I ended up reading something like that. If it's something past a certain year, they technically won't authenticate it.
But this is the
No, I don't know.
years of yeah.
Trust me.
But
go
that's what I'm saying.
ahead and buy that. I guarantee you it's going to go to an authenticator. They can post whatever they want to on there.
You know,
eBay is going to intercept that.
The first item ever sold on eBay was a laser pointer, I believe. Little fun fact.
A what?
A laser pointer.
Did anybody care?
Yeah, we need the bill.
Did anybody?
I got to drop it. We need the bill.
But no, seriously though, like I said,
the
give
trophy
people
getting taken
the
away.
option. Give people the option to go through the authentication process. If I trust what I see and I like all the information that the seller gave, and I feel comfortable making a purchase, then I should be able to be like, okay, cool. I'm about to usurp this authentication process. I don't need it. Just ship it right to me. I ain't got to go through that whole thing. And then if you do want it or if you need it, then it's available to you. So I think that way, and I think that gives you an upper hand on StockX and GOAT, because they don't have that option. And I think if you give, the more options people have, the more they'll gravitate to that. You know what I'm saying?
And
when
it
you give
builds
people
trust.
options. Huh?
Giving options builds trust with the consumer.
I
and
agree.
That's priceless.
Yeah, so on that note, speaking of consumers, this Lil Nas X thing, this is hot topic of the week.
Some context though, like we've had the Warren Lotus, the Bape, the Cool Kai cases. This Lil Nas X case is slightly different because it's an authentic Nike product that's now been customized, which is different than our past cases.
Right, and I think that's part of the reason why Nike might have a case is because there are a lot of people in the marketplace that don't know the difference.
Well, so a lot of us sneakerheads really don't understand all of what's going on, or
Yes.
some of the legal jargon.
Yeah.
So we actually have a special guest today who can shed some light on all of this
Okay. You want to introduce him?
as he gets on.
Okay.
Geeno, you may need to sacrifice yourself momentarily.
Well, as you
Damn,
said,
I gotta
Lil
kill
Nas
myself?
shoe. We're talking about a Lil Nas
It's a
shoe.
satanic shoe. It's only appropriate.
Yeah, you want me
Nah,
to slit my wrist?
that's
Like,
right.
is that what you're looking for?
Yes.
Like, dang.
So
Does that work?
Thank you for your sacrifice.
Want to get this man in camera?
Okay.
Somebody got to get up.
Here,
Somebody got to get up. Yeah, there we
Okay.
go.
We good?
Are we good? Okay, we got everybody. Hey. All right.
I'm sitting back down.
Okay, gentlemen. Thank
It's like
you
a reverse
for...
Oreo. Go ahead.
Whoa, pause.
Oh, is that better? Okay.
So we're kind of summarizing the case and why this is different than the last few.
Yeah.
And here we have the Warren Lotus, where this is just clearly copyright infringement. It looks just like a dunk. We've already beat this to death. We talked about Cool Kai and the Thunder Lightning Bolt, whatever, and those court cases may have been a rumor. We're not sure if it's confirmed. We know Bape doing it in the past, and they didn't really protect the Air Force One copyright because they didn't want to open the floodgates, right?
So we actually want to introduce him as John. So this is John. I don't know. Yeah, last
This is
name
John Mowhi, our lawyer.
Yeah, lawyer, actual lawyer. So he knows what he's talking about.
Real lawyer.
Yes.
Not Sam Bernstein.
Okay.
He's a real
You
lawyer,
ain't
but
gonna get Sam
okay.
Bernstein to sue me. I'm good.
But if you could shed some light on why this case is different.
Okay, first off, thank you, gentlemen, for having me on.
Yes, sir.
This is definitely a hot topic. Some little background on trademark law really quickly.
Yeah.
A trademark at its core is a source identifier. And the purpose of trademark law is really to kind of protect your reputation that you put into that huge investment that you put into that logo and that brand.
Yeah.
And it also stops people from kind of being unjustly enriched from selling items that bear your brand, because you put a big investment into that brand and logo.
Yeah.
So kind of different from a lot of the other cases that come up is the Satan shoe is...
Also known as the Air Max 97.
Yes. Well, the thing is that the Satan shoe is basically a derivative in a way of the Air Max 97. Now, if they were just reselling the shoe, the Nike Air Max 97, then it would go under the first sale doctrine. Now, Nike is trying to argue here, and I think they will be able to successfully, that they're no longer selling the Nike Air Max 97. They're selling the Satan shoe, which is something completely different. And if they're able to say that this is a different shoe, then all of that additional additive onto the Nike Air Max 97 and its association with the Nike logo is going to constitute infringement.
So let me ask you this, because because immediately I thought about Universal v Nintendo over the Kong name, where they were able to show like you didn't protect it in these instances, so therefore you lost your ability to defend that particular name.
So with the Nike logo, it's actually different trademarks have different levels of strength.
Yeah.
Nike's logo is very strong worldwide.
Right.
When you see the Nike swoosh, you think Nike.
Right.
You know.
Now, real quick though, I would say that custom culture or customizers kind of helps or enriches the sneaker culture.
Yeah.
Well, you guys look down on resellers, I get it, but like usually customizers, it's a good contribution to the community. But in this case, I think it's giving customizers a bad name and Nike a bad rep.
Well, I guess my question was going to be, because we've seen customizers do the same thing in the past, and Nike didn't.
Well, also customs are usually one of one or pretty limited, right?
No, we've seen them do like they done some size runs of customs, and I've never once heard Nike jumping in and intervening. Case in point, those Jesus ones.
Yeah, with the water, which I think is the same company.
It's the exact same company. So I'm trying to figure out if they didn't jump in and intervene, then can I think the guy's name is MSCHF. The company, can they use that as their defense? Like, wait a minute, like they didn't protect their trademark then in that instance. So
you're trying to make a kind of a waiver argument.
Yeah.
You know, I think probably Nike should have jumped in and said something about those shoes. There's this delicate relationship because customizers actually do add some value to the sneaker community.
Yeah.
Because they kind of create this more artistic vibe. What's different here is what
the perception of the consumer when they see a satanic shoe, it's more negative than when you see religious or Jesus or God or whatever you choose to call it.
I understand that, but I'm saying legally though. I mean,
well,
I feel like when Nike, you know, Nike likes to take their time to move your feet, so you dig your own hole. So what they thought they were maybe possibly getting away by doing the first one, and nothing happened. So Nike be like, okay, I'm gonna keep my eye on you. And then the second one comes when I do take you to court. I have 2 instances to say, hey, you've done this multiple times. And then also to Nike moves on negative publicity. This shoe had negative publicity. That's why people reacted.
That's exactly
and also
what it was.
this shoe was released and coincided of his video. So Nike saying you're taking my product, doing whatever modifications on it, and it was used as a marketing thing to generate, using my product to generate money for your artistry or your label, whatever the case may be. Is I think would they have a problem with it. And then when you look at that shoe, you don't see no MSCHF branding.
But did they sue Nelly when he came out with Air Force Ones?
Nike, but they had a partnership with Nelly.
No, they didn't.
I'm saying he promoted the shoe, right? I'm saying he told you to go buy. He was branching. He's not. There's nowhere in Lil Nas X song.
He wasn't telling you to. He was just bragging about he had his Air Force Ones.
Yeah, it was bragging, right? That was his name. Nowhere in that song did he mentions like, yeah, you should go cop these or these are the Satanic Nine. He gave them a nickname or so whatever. Nike looked at it as free promotion. This people went out and purchased more.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, but legally though, and I'm guessing you can answer that. Like, if 2 artists are promoting a shoe in a song, and like I'm trying to figure out legally, like what difference is it?
Well, he didn't promote that song. He used that satanic theme in his video, and then used that kind of publicity.
Right, but it's essentially the same thing, though.
No, I mean it's not.
Well, whether they let the Jesus shoe slide and then this gives them bad publicity, at some point they want to jump in to protect their future. If they cut the head off the snake with this one, it won't happen again in the future.
But they let it happen before, and I guess that's what.
I think there's 2 considerations I think on Nike's mind right now. One is the likelihood of confusion that this is associated with Nike,
yes,
and its ability to tarnish their reputation. Now, I read through the complaint. And one of the major issues is as soon as they started promoting the Satan shoe with the Nike swoosh, everybody was confused, especially non-sneakerheads, saying, hey, I'm not going to buy Nike anymore because you're associated with the devil. And Nike has spent a lot of money protecting and investing in their brand, and they don't want to be associated with Satan. I generally would like to think that that's not helpful to an international brand. I don't know. Maybe it might be for some people, but overall, it's probably not going to give them increased sales as a result of it.
I agree. But no, I mean,
what is the current case where is the current situation on this case? Because it looks like they're trying to halt sales, but some already made it out.
Okay, so what happened is actually I have to give kudos to the Nike legal team for acting so quickly. I think it was like within 3 days they filed this request for an injunction against MSCHF. And the court granted it to them. And basically what happened here is they're saying, hey, Nike has a pretty good argument. Let's stop everything, figure out who's right and who's wrong, and
so nobody won anything yet. It's just halting.
Which some news has been inaccurately reporting that Nike won.
Where I think they haven't won anything. It's an injunction, like he said.
Same with Warren Lotus. I believe they. What happened with Warren Lotus?
He lost.
I believe
they settled.
Yeah.
There was so.
Like he didn't win, but
he didn't lose.
I mean, when it's these smaller guys, they're probably going to be more likely to settle. In this case, though, I think that the Satan shoe is almost a gift from God in a legal sense to the shoe community, or not the shoe community, but to Nike, because it's a perfect case, a perfect test case where Nike can go and solidify some of its legal protections against customizers. And the facts are just so perfect that any jury that's looking at this is probably going to rule in Nike's favor.
But see, my problem is, and I get it, like, we're talking about the devil and all this other stuff, and it has a negative connotation. However, legally, my right to worship the devil, I'm not saying I do, but a person's right to worship the devil is just as even as somebody's right to worship God.
The problem is, this, if it was one shoe, maybe
that's what I'm saying.
They can argue it's art. When you start to do mass production of 666,
but that's not mass production. Though.
I mean,
600 shoes. I mean,
there's a threshold, and I think they went over it.
Yeah,
it's not like 10 or 1.
That's why you said like some customers have done size runs. I mean, 600 plus shoes. That's a couple size runs.
That's a major drop. You know
what's really interesting? Speaking of Warren Lotus and settling, they're actually going over his factory now. I think it's called Lala Factory, based in L.A. Which, can you explain, how can Nike even go after the factory if they settled with Warren?
Well, they're going to go after the whole chain of distribution, and really what they want to go after is the deep pocket. So Warren Lotus wasn't the deep pocket. The factory is the deep pocket. So,
and this is the same factory that John Geiger uses, I believe, or whatever his name
John
is.
Geiger.
So, I mean, according to Nike, they are a bad actor, and so they're going to try to go after a lot of damages from the factory, and they probably are going to be on the hook for
and
a good
even if they
portion of
can't collect, it should protect them from future people trying to pull the same stunt, right?
I mean, it definitely helps, but there's always going to be another one that pops up.
So my thing is, I'll be interested to see, one, how this impacts the customizer community going forward.
That is going to be the huge part of this case. I think that Nike is not going to settle this case. They're going to see it through to the end because it's such a perfect case to strengthen their stance against customizers for something similar to this in the future.
Right. And then two, because we talked about the threshold, like, okay, so 600 pairs. So what if I sell 100 pairs or 50 pairs? Like, where is that cutoff?
That is a jury question. And
To me personally, nothing to do with law, not fact. In my head, I think custom should be one of one or like maybe a couple, but it shouldn't be mass produced by any means.
So when you say mass produced, like, because I'm used to like mass produced, like
Tens of thousands.
Like, yeah,
When I think custom, I think like, all right, a sneakerhead wants like a piece of art that's, you know, he may or may not have had say in, but he hired someone to put their artistic touch on it. And now it's just turning into like a marketing scam or like a.
Because if Nike came out with like 500 pairs of LeBrons right now, those would be like unicorns. Like 500 pairs, like America alone has like 3 billion people.
But how much?
There's 1 million people here in Detroit
What's
alone.
the cost to produce each one? So that's what we say. Like mass production would be, you're not going one of one each one of those.
But they're
600
they're
pairs.
not producing them. They're fair and square buying them from Nike and then altering them.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's still,
Which Nike also, I guess you'd call this a cherry on top, but Nike made a claim that putting the blood or the water in the Air Max, the unit, actually may affect the performance of the sneaker itself.
But nobody's buying them for the performance.
But if somebody walks in and the air bubble pops and slips, the first thing they're gonna do is try to sue Nike because they thinking.
But Nike's no longer responsible. Who would be responsible in that situation?
But here's the thing.
Well-
What branding do you see on the shoe? So
You see no misjudged branding. There's no misjudged branding.
it's going to be the person who altered the shoe.
Yeah.
And unless there's like a manufacturing or design defect beforehand, I don't think
But you
that
wouldn't know that because it was
Yeah.
altered, so it's like.
But you do know that.
Which is
Everybody
why
knows.
Nike is
Oh,
fighting
time out.
this.
Everybody knows it's altered because that's the whole.
No.
Part
We
of
talking
people's
about
hang-up.
the manufacturing defect. So we buy, like they buy this Air Max 97, right?
Yeah.
And it say in about 2 months it's gonna pop, but you don't know that, right?
Yeah.
Then he takes it and customizes and does whatever he does. When the air bubble does pop, you don't know if it's from his customizing or because Nike
But it would
does
still
have
fall.
maintenance.
It would still fall under the person that altered it last.
Yeah, but I'm just saying you don't know which one it is. As a
a
person
regular
approved injured,
But it doesn't matter. Though. You wouldn't know
sue
who to
them
sue
all.
because it'll be the person. It would
you'd
still fall.
you'd probably bring in an expert to kind of look at that and say, well, was this from
This is
the
what we're doing.
alteration or was this from
Right.
the actual shoe beforehand? Like, would it have happened anyways if they didn't make the changes that they made?
Right, because everybody knows it was altered because everybody's hang up, part of their hang up outside of it being the devil was the human blood element,
Yeah.
in there. And so,
Which, I mean, in this pandemic age,
Yeah.
I'm thinking that some other laws may probably be able to cover the
no,
distribution.
that's
of something
that's the
with
only
blood in
part
it.
where I feel like they went a step too far. I was just kind of like, y'all didn't need to do that. Like, y'all could have got some red food coloring and, pretended it was blood.
Well, they added food coloring and they mixed it with 1 drop of blood.
Yeah,
I think that's
that
what
was-
They said
that was
they-
unnecessary,
I
though,
read
to
it.
me.
They
Totally
get it from the
unnecessary.
employees,
Yeah.
and then they said it wasn't the best way. How they collected the blood from their employees wasn't the best way.
But why
They
did you
don't
need
speak
that?
in
Like, you know what I'm saying? I just felt like that was so that was
un-
unnecessary to me. Like, because it's like now, like you said, in this pandemic age, that's I don't know about that.
Well, with Nike halting the sales or trying to stop shipments, of course, a few made it out, and I think the shoe had a retail price of around $1,000. Now that the lawsuit's going on and they're not leaving the factories or warehouse, whatever, they're selling for around $5,000 a pair now.
No, people got. They didn't. I thought they shipped them already. I thought
The
that was.
majority did not ship.
Oh, okay.
Somebody
Nike
guessed
I
was
thought
able to
Nike was
halt-
saying that they
correct.
rushed the ship.
Yeah, they halted, I think, the majority of them, and
Well,
they're
some
going
went
to.
out though.
Well,
I
they're going
seen
to try to
people with
get
people in
them,
it.
and then I think
I
they're
would
going to
guess
burn
like a
them
third or fourth.
in hell.
I would, so let me ask you this. So let me ask you
Nike
this:
said,
if
"Let
you're
'em burn in
somebody,
hell."
if you're somebody that has a pair, like
Sell
legally,
now.
do you have to give them back?
No.
I don't think so. I'm not aware.
I mean, I'm just asking.
I would refuse. I don't even know the answer.
That's
I
what I'm saying. I
refuse.
wouldn't. I'd be like, kick rocks.
Yeah,
You paid for it and the company's already shipped it to you.
Nah.
you can't claw it back from the consumer.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, it would be very difficult.
Yeah.
You know, some retailer, like in the, you know how SB does different collaborations, some official, some not. They did the Heineken one, and Heineken wasn't thrilled. They did the Cheech and Chong wasn't thrilled. So they'll pull the sneaker from the shelves. Well, some retailers will get a shoe early, backdoor it, and then Nike will be like, "Oh, we have a lawsuit. You gotta send the shipments back." Some of these store owners are like, "Oh, fuck me, I sold them early illegally." Like,
Well, that's different.
yeah,
Yeah, that's different.
there's just a lot that comes with it.
Yeah. But
That's a risk.
nah. But thank you for coming on here and explaining.
Absolutely. It
You
was
know.
Fun. I'm happy to answer your questions anytime in the future, guys.
Ask him ask him his favorite sneakers.
I already know he's wearing them right now, right?
down at his
Yeah.
I mean, I say what you want about Kanye, but he is a genius, especially when it comes to ergonomics. That Boost 20 technology in the 350 Yeezys, it's really good on the knees. I just got to say.
Man, all that smartness you just
It is really comfortable
displayed
too,
on
though.
the show up until that point, man. I'm just. Can we edit his part out? Can we edit that last part out?
On that note, it was good seeing you guys.
To any of our
Thanks for coming on the
listeners,
show.
if you have any legal troubles, issues,
Yes.
feel free to contact John Mowhi at Mowi Law.
Yes.
I love it.
Well, law meets technology. That's
Okay.
I like that. Put down a T-shirt.
Great idea.
Actually, I don't
We
know
get
if
some
you guys,
merch.
if the camera could zoom in. I have already put this on my jacket.
Oh, I ain't get a jacket. You make a 4X?
Hey, can we show Guru's face, please?
I want a jacket. I want a John Mowhi jacket.
Okay, I'm on it. I'm on it.
All right, bet it up.
I'll see you guys later.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Yep.
Yeah, take care. I appreciate it. Thank you, man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate
Shout out
it.
to
man.
John, our
Thanks.
in-house lawyer. I guess we're gonna tap into
Hey,
John.
so
anytime
when
we
I
got
first
legal
started,
questions.
you guys were calling me the lawyer, and I'm just the paralegal.
Well, I'm glad
No,
we
we
got
just
somebody that
called
knows
you.
what
We
they're talking
just called
about.
you the resident white guy.
Nah, well, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'm just glad to be part of the team, guys.
But no, like I mean, but I will say this though, beyond the lawsuit, like the outrage around the shoe, I thought was just ridiculous, honestly. And I gotta say this, I'm not into Lil Nas X music. I'm not into any of that stuff. When people tell me, I didn't see the video, I never saw it, never will. People told me about
It's
it.
pretty wild.
I'm good. Like once people tell me what was in it, I'm like, I quickly surmised it was not for me. So with that being said, while I'm not into his music, while I didn't watch the video and I never will, I still recognize his right to do what he wants to. Like, it's not up to him to make music for me or my children. Like, he makes the
His
music
last
he wants
hit
to.
was a country song.
Right. I mean,
What
I
you
don't-
mean last hit? He's only had one.
Yeah, that's true.
We're saying
But,
the same thing.
I mean, but shit, nowadays you only need one and you can live off that
That's
forever.
what- like how he has.
Yeah.
Like on the Complex show.
But my whole thing is, like, this outrage. Like, oh my God, he has the devil on the shoe. Like, dude, we've seen. First of all, like, I don't know, and I say this enough to where it's just now I just feel like I'm being redundant. But we've gotten so soft. Like, we lived through Madonna, Prince, Eminem, South Park, professional wrestling, like all these things that were going to destroy the world. Like, now all of a sudden we can't handle a dude. Like, you know, okay, I get it. Like, you don't want to see some dude grinding on the devil. I don't either. But at the same time, I remember when Madonna had sex with Jesus, and not just black Jesus, Leon.
Well, okay.
Remember that
the-
video?
But remember the uproar. The
Can we
uproar
cue the
for
video,
that.
please?
But yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But the same people that were like, yeah, okay, because the uproar was the older generation.
Just
all
like
outraged.
now.
But now it's
White
us.
girls
Not like
is-
the generation that was okay with that back then is now complaining about this, and I'm just like,
Yes, they are, man.
I'm just
You have
kinda
to be
like,
very
yeah.
My
careful
thing
what you
is,
say.
that goes for everything. Whether you feel like about religion, whether you feel it about sex, whether you feel about race. Because some people, some Caucasians be like, man, why y'all tripping about this racism thing? Y'all let it fly back then, or you will. It's not as big a deal now. So
Say
how
what?
you feel about?
who made that argument?
No. Some people feel like that. We see it all the time. The last boy that was in office, a lot of his true feelings start to spill out. What's old Ozzy new Osbourne wife?
Oh, Sharon.
She just got kicked off because she said, I don't know what the big deal was, the comments that I made.
No, this is
Some
the
people-
difference. This is the difference between you being oblivious to racism. Like that, you being oblivious to racism doesn't mean we haven't been complaining
Here's
about
my
it.
thing. But there's been numerous people been
Right, but
oblivious
what
to
I'm
racism.
saying is, I'm not making an argument that people are oblivious to shock value. I'm saying the people that grew up, the generation that grew up with probably the most shock value, you know, the 90s was just full of shock value, are now like, oh my God, I can't handle this. What about my kids? And it's like,
But
he also made a
Where
children's
did you grow
book,
up on?
though. Like he also made a old time. My problem with him is like you want to act like I ain't tell your kids to listen to my music when you went diamond with a lot of your kids. You went and performed at a middle school. You dropped a kids book. So don't tell me about no kids about you don't want your kids to listen to music.
Just because he comes out with a kids book doesn't mean that your kid got to buy it.
No. But you appeal to an audience. Now you saying I don't want to do that.
But the point is that he comes out with stuff. Now whether or not your kids buy into it, like it, whatever, that's between you and your kids. And I told somebody, I got an 11-year-old daughter. You can't protect your kids from everything. They're going to see stuff, especially now you got TikTok, you got YouTube, you got all this shit, right? My job as a parent is to, one, protect her as much as I can, but also teaching her how to digest and comprehend the stuff that she's going to see. So if you feel like your kid is all of a sudden going to be corrupted off of one song, one shoe, one video, that's between you and your kid.
But here's my thing, my issue was what he said about, well, I didn't tell your kids to listen to my music. When you
didn't
market, but
that is a true statement.
That's like Nike saying,
No.
That's like,
Did he market?
Let me finish.
Wait, no, because you're talking about a previous song. Did he market this song to your kids?
Bro, you marketed the first part of your career. This is the first time he didn't market his music to kids. Bro, no, let me finish. When you went and performed at the middle school, you marketed yourself and your music to kids.
No, you
didn't.
made
the how?
No, you didn't.
If you tell me, that's like Nike saying that why you black people buy my shoes? We didn't tell you to buy my shoes. You signed all black athletes. You put the black community. No. You can't sit there.
Just because you went to go perform somewhere one time off of one song does not mean your career trajectory has to follow that same thing. People start off somewhere and they end up somewhere else. Now, clearly, this man is grinding on the devil. This ain't got shit to do with nobody's kids.
No.
Hold on, time out. We're not gonna. If you're not gonna sit here and make an argument that this dude has to cater to kids forever because he performed one time. I didn't say
he had to cater to kids.
So
I never
what's the argument then?
I said, don't say I never made music or why your kids looking at me when you put yourself in front of kids.
That one time.
It wasn't one time.
You just said one time. You just say he went to perform one time.
He performed at middle school number of time, and he made a children's book. So don't tell me that.
This video, do you think this video is catered to kids?
No, it's not catered. No. I'm talking about his comments. I'm not talking about the video.
His comments are true. That's because I made a song that your kids like don't mean I got to be beholden to your kids forever.
Hey,
well, if you made it your business to market to kids and say, oh, why you kids look,
he made it his business to market to everybody.
No. You didn't make it your business to market to
nobody
everybody.
Ever said, Lil Nas X never came out and said I'm for kids only.
No, bro.
And I'm glad he called out Joyner Lucas. Because if you listen to the lyrics of his song, like, he clearly is talking about adult things, but because your kid likes the hook.
Why did you go to the middle school and perform the song if it was talking about adult things?
Because one, he edited it.
Bro,
because one,
you can't give me no
time out. Bro. One, if you're gonna be mad at him, you gotta be mad at the people that invited him. One, I'm more mad at them.
No. Because here's my thing.
I'm not mad at him for look. I don't know what his money look like. I'm not mad at him for not turning on the paycheck. If somebody asks you to perform your song, fine,
so the school
go do that shit.
Pay him to perform.
Obviously, he ain't just show up on his own.
Bro, school's not paying no kid for that performance.
Ain't nobody look. Lil Nas X didn't decide that day. You know what? I'm gonna go show up at this school randomly, uninvited.
He agreed to. If they invited him, bro, you agreed to it. You agreed to it once you went.
So who's more the onus on the school or him?
We know the school. The issue was not about the school. The school district got that and many other problems. I'm talking about his comments saying, "I didn't tell your children to do that" when you went and performed in front of children about your song. The same song that he was calling.
Did he perform that song or the last song?
No. The Old Town Road.
Exactly. So I don't give a fuck. Hold on, time out. I don't give a fuck about that song.
No. But in the tweet he said I was rapping about.
I don't care about exactly. So I don't care about that song.
He's talking about. In his tweet,
because there's been plenty of songs that's been edited down because they know kids listen to it.
I'm talking about his comment about the song. His comment about the song. He said, "Why would you tripping, Joyner Lucas? At Old Town Road, I was rapping about adultery, lean, and everything else. So why are you tripping about this song?"
Exactly.
So why would you go perform that song in front of the middle school then if you talking about
because
adultery?
He obviously, I'm guessing, I wasn't there, but I'm guessing he didn't probably sing that part of the song. He probably
the whole song was like, how would you not sing that part of the song?
I don't know.
I mean, it's part of artistry. His lyrics, he probably was able to hide his lyrics of what he was really talking about.
He probably edited it once in front of the kids.
Because think about how the hook of that song go. All
just
the
like
kids
for radio. That's the same thing they do for radio. There's the radio version and there's the CD cut.
It was when you go back and look at it.
Even they don't just edit the cuss words. They edit anything that's suggestive.
No, because they let cuss words fly on the radio now.
Now they do, but there's a time. But even
this is like last year.
Because you listen to some songs and you listen to the CD and like the words have changed. Sometimes the whole verse didn't change. changed because
that was
it's too suggestive.
back when they truly in the 90s they truly had a radio edit. And then they had the album.
Right, and I'm saying some songs have edits.
But this song, and nowadays, we talking about, this is not 5-6 years ago, this is 2 years ago. Now they let you say certain cuss words on the radio. Now you can't say the N-word.
But what he's saying is, I'm not beholden to your kids.
But don't go perform in front of kids, dude.
You both
but that was one song.
But my thing is, you only had 2 songs. So it's not like you talking about song cry and you over here performing.
So he got to have 100 songs for him to perform one with kids and the other one?
No, but don't act like your catalog saw diverse where why.
Nobody's saying that. You are making that assumption. No. He's saying I'm not beholden to your kids. Just because I performed this one time, this one song back in the day.
You performed Miracle School numerous times and you dropped the children's book.
Well, I want to see what numerous schools he went to.
Listen,
I would love to see it.
You guys both make valid points. Arguments can be made on both sides, but of course you don't want to associate children with satanic anything negative. And for all the parents out there that need a positive, uplifting story for their kids, I just published "Cashew Gets a Job." It's now available on Amazon, and it's a heartwarming story about never giving up, believing in yourself, and finding your true calling. Cashew Gets a Job. I'm the author, available on Amazon.
This is ridiculous.
Thank you.
Point is, going back, that's shameless plug. That was the most shameless plug in the show ever.
Guru's face is priceless.
That's ridiculous.
You guys are screaming. We're a sneaker podcast. I'm just trying to get us back on topic.
No, I'm just saying, like,
you never watched First Take? You never watched Undisputed?
For the people that are affected by this, I'm sorry, and
who's
maybe my book can help your children.
Who's affected by this? Like, honestly, anybody affected by this shit?
I think people are affected by it.
My God.
That's only because...
That's what I mean. We didn't got soft as fuck. If a song...
Hold up, but time out. You say we've gotten soft, but you just made the point that when Madonna did the Like a Virgin video, people were affected by that. But it was
mostly the older generation.
The older generation is what's upset about this now because it has to do with the devil.
It's people my age too. Like, oh my God.
You are the older generation.
And that's why I said I wasn't the older generation back when
but that's
listen
what
to
I'm
my
saying.
argument. Hold on. Stop.
Loud noises.
Listen to what I'm saying. If I'm saying when Madonna did her shit, people my age were like, are now being like, what the fuck? I'm like looking at you like, dog, you lived through all that silly shit. You lived through South Park. You lived through Howard Stern. You lived through all this shit, and all of a sudden you offended? That's what I'm saying. I already know old people are going to complain. I'm talking about the people that did complain throughout the 90s. We saw all types of wild shit, are now all of a sudden complaining. That's why I'm saying that we saw.
But I feel like today the stuff is even wilder, though.
Huh?
I'm feeling like today, as a whole, a lot of this stuff is wilder, and it's now being,
do we not remember Jerry Springer? Do we not remember?
I think you're right. Our generation was wilder, but this generation has more access.
That might be true.
That's what,
and that may be the difference. Still, though, you got to be the one teaching your kids how to digest this shit. Ain't nobody's job to raise your kids. I'm sorry.
But that's what I was making the point because I kept like with MTV. Because remember when MTV came out, that's when you were a teenager or a younger person. You had access to watching a little bit more raunchy television than what you could watch. So that's what I'm saying. People that
got YouTube on their iPads now.
And I acknowledge that at the very beginning.
But no, and that's what I mean when I keep saying like not necessarily the generation, but right now, the age we're at, we are considered the older generation.
I understand that. That's why I started off by saying we've lived through this shit to now turn around and complain about it.
Right, but it's a generational thing. It's just going to keep happening.
Well, it's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous, and I think it's hypocritical on some level because it's like you're not going to grow up on that shit and be like, I'm fine.
And then
your kids can't survive.
But then the other part too, like I said, this just creates a lot of controversy.
And I don't even like his music, but I'm a defender of people's right to live their life as long as it doesn't infringe on yours.
Yeah, but this is going to be controversial because it involves the devil.
Yeah,
that's just really the main reason.
I understand that, and I think that's equally dumb. As somebody, and maybe it's because of my, non-religious. I'm not religious, so I think it's ridiculous for anybody to get us. Oh my God, the devil! Like,
now I'm going to let listeners in on a secret. The devil's not real.
I mean, I'm not getting into all that. You know what I'm saying? Your beliefs, look, whatever your beliefs are, is your beliefs. It's your right to have them, right? I just think it's ridiculous to sit there and put this all on this man like he's about to destroy your kid's life.
But
off this one video. And I'll say this too about Lil Nas X.
Hey, Marilyn Manson was doing this years ago.
Dog!
But what I'm saying though is he never released a shoe.
But
that's different.
That's why this is getting so much attention.
But here's my thing:
he just got breast implants.
When kids dress like him when he shut up Columbine, he did catch some flack. So I mean, it's people.
But people like you, me, and anybody with a brain would think, okay, it ain't Marilyn Manson's fault that those kids shut up that school.
We understand that. We just talking about from a public consensus. We're not talking about our internal beliefs. We just talking about from a public consensus and how they view it.
Right.
That's how it is.
No, and I agree with you on that public consensus. But I guess that's my argument. Public consensus is being full of shit right now. Honestly, I think. And I do like the fact that Lil Nas X is like owning
But
it.
let me ask you this. If that shoe had KKK on it, came with a white hood with a hose in it, would you feel offended?
Will I feel offended?
Yes.
Yeah, I would feel offended, but I
he
would also...
wouldn't.
Yes,
You
I
know
would.
why?
Time
I'm
out.
Jewish.
Wait. Time out.
Just say,
Yes,
Here's
I,
what I'm
I
saying.
absolutely would, and I still understand common decency,
But
morals,
here's my thing.
respect.
But you making my point. You don't have to be black to know that the KK shoe is going to be offensive to somebody.
And that's
So-
why,
so-
but that's my next point. Lil Nas X did this for a reason. He knew it was going. People do things for shock value. You know why? Because they know people are going to get outraged, and that's going to do more for their marketing than they ever could. Because you're going to get mad. You're going to go on
That's
social
even
media.
worse that you're doing it not even because you believe in that, just because it gets you views. That's even worse.
But that's not the first time we've heard. Once again,
No. We not saying it's the first time. See, whoever done it is
But
wrong.
what generation are we in? We in the clout generation.
So exactly.
He's
So
getting
that's
clout.
what-
So
what I'm saying.
But you have people that get. So my thing is, I'm not. If that's what he choose to believe, cool.
No, that part
That's
I do hate. If you're talking about the clout part,
That's-
yeah.
that's
but
what-
my argument is that people do. I hate it when people know what somebody's doing. Like if I know the game you're playing, I'm not playing with you, right? So if I know you're doing this to get attention, I'm not giving you what you want. You know what I'm saying? So he obviously knew what he was going to get from that. He knew. Like, no, there's no way he didn't know that he was going to catch some heat from that, especially from like the religious side of things.
Well, not only him, but also the company MSCHF.
That's what I'm
Imagine
saying.
what this
They
is
knew.
doing for them.
And once again, the reason people do shock value type shit is because they know the outrage is going to do more for the marketing than they ever could. And that's exactly what happened. We know more about this shoe than we probably would have if people weren't acting like they were so shocked and outraged.
This is true.
You know about if you don't know about Air Max 97s, man, you must be living under Farrakh.
No, but I mean, but what are people talking about? They're not talking about the fact that it's a comfortable shoe and it's a good shoe for running. They're talking about the fact that it's got devil shit on it.
What we're hearing is Nike put out a blasphemous product, and we just clarified Nike didn't put it out.
Well, yeah,
and
it was
just, you know.
that was another thing that was irritating me too. I'm like, this isn't a Nike product, you know. But
But
you
that
know.
goes back to why they're upset because
Right.
people, general public, the casual people didn't know that this was
Right, and that's why they got a case, and that's why this case is going to be so
Hey,
interesting to see how it
watch
plays out.
Nike win the case, and then Adidas sign Lil Nas X.
not with Kanye over there and Jerry Lorenzo. You got Yeezy and the other dude, Fear of God. They not letting that dude on the campus.
I
so-
will say this too, and this got nothing to do with sneakers, and and this is my motto. Like I like the fact that he's just owning it because people was saying he was evil and all this other stuff when he came out as gay. You know what I'm saying? So like I like the fact that he's like, you know what? If I'm going to hell, I'm gonna go to hell
I mean,
my way.
but what else is he supposed to do now? He
Well, I mean,
got
he got
to.
to
He don't have a choice.
Yeah, I mean,
He
shit.
has no choice, dog.
I don't know how you gonna top that one, but you know, but the whole,
I mean, but like we said, in terms of the clout, look what this is doing for his career. I mean, I can only imagine if you go on like what this is doing for Old Town Road. Like
Yeah.
this probably boosted the streams
Oh,
of
you
that.
know they
Just,
boosted.
you know, so I mean,
and we all know, if one thing we know about kids, the more you tell them not to do something, guess
They gonna
what?
do
They
it.
gonna want to do it. So the more you tell them they can't have something, guess what? The more they want it. So, yeah, I mean, like I say, I don't have to agree with somebody's lifestyle to like understand their right to do it, and the right to live it. And so that's where my support comes in. Like, live your life on your terms, bro. I don't care. That's the long and short of it for me.
Unfortunately, not everyone has that common sense, though, and they think their mindset is how it should be for everyone.
Yeah, and I hate
that's
that
where
shit.
we run
Like
into
my
all these
belief
issues.
system should not be put on you. You know what I'm saying? Like Geeno shouldn't have to live by my belief system.
Yeah,
Neither
I'm
should
allowed to
Guru
like
you.
Yeezys. Perfect example.
Yeah, if you like Yeezys, wear them. Just because I talk shit about it don't mean that you shouldn't wear them.
no, don't wear them.
Yeah, see, no, you should not wear them with Nike socks.
Dog, you hear this, man?
What do you
Yeah,
say?
he talking about, he said, because I don't like them talk shit, don't mean you don't have to wear them, bro. You bash them enough to
I
some
bash
people.
them. I African Caesar bashed them. That does not mean that you are not supposed to like them. Never once
You
have I
got the
said
ugly shoe every week.
I was just about to say.
that doesn't mean you're not supposed to wear them.
You an
Once
influencer.
again,
You
once again,
influencing
see,
the
that's
culture.
exactly what I'm looking right in the camera. That's the shit that's what I'm talking about. That's
you
what I'm
an
talking about.
influencer?
No, it's because I say I don't like something. That means that for the rest of the community, y'all are not supposed to buy this shit. I talk about the things I don't like, or I talk
But
about the
you
issues
do know that
I
you're a
have.
person that has the influence of people tune into. So
So,
when
first
you
of
say
all,
something,
that's
repeat it.
bullshit. Because if
So
what-
you're not an influence. You have
no,
nobody.
not at all. Because
Hey, I'm
and I
about to
say
go buy
that.
myself
Hold
a
on, time
jersey.
out. I say that with all seriousness. If I get on this show and I say I don't like a shoe and that causes you not to buy something, I don't know what to tell you. That's a level of gullible I don't want no parts of. I'm sorry. Now, we have fun on the show. I talk shit about the Yeezys because I
So let me
personally
ask you:
find them
somebody,
shitty.
if you told somebody to buy a shoe and then you was like, you know what, I copped them, would you have that same thing?
I'll be like, okay. I wouldn't be proud of that. Like, oh my God, you bought a shoe because I said so.
But you wouldn't feel like.
But that's almost like a
I wouldn't feel no way.
But that's almost like Rotten Tomatoes rating system. I mean, because something is rated poorly, the general consensus is going to be that it's not good.
And that's on you. That's on you. Like, I mean, I get it. Like, that's going to sway your decision. But at the same time, I'm only one person. When you go on Rotten Tomatoes, you ain't just reading one person's review. You're reading a community view. You're getting the reviews of many critics. You're getting the reviews of many people that watched it. You're not just banking on one person.
You are the community.
Oh my God.
Community leader is the term, I believe.
This is some bullshit. It's
just fun to piss you off. You know that, right?
Bullshit.
Slam.
Dunk. I have to look at the fist now, make sure we don't slip up.
Yeah, I need to get that shit right.
You could have not made it like a highlight and humiliate us publicly.
You know what reminds me of on Dragon Ball Z? You know when they couldn't get the fusion right and they would get fat and skinny? That's y'all get the fist bone right. Y'all going to be off.
And maybe in the summertime, maybe we're going to go outside and do the fusion dance.
Man, one day we'll have you as a guest on the Slam Dunk Show.
And just for people to know, because we were yelling and shit, like, I just want y'all to know that's how we talk. So don't nobody think we beefed out or nothing.
Well, I was having a panic attack. That caused me anxiety.
No, like Dunks was really
Dunks
like
was looking
freaking
like
out.
his parents were like getting into an argument and shit.
Like I had to keep telling him, like, no, chill, like calm down. Like no, because remember when we was in Cleveland and we was yelling at each other
for hours.
What are the odds that you guys are going to talk about kids' book the day I am again promoting my kids' book, Cashy Gets a Job, and I just had to chime in.
You talk about like just perfection.
Dog, that's the most shameless
perfect.
marketing I've ever seen in my life.
Do what you gotta do,
But
man.
you know I ain't mad at you.
I appreciate everyone's support,
you?
including my team.
Do you?
Wait, including my team. And why we're your team?
Yes, and I appreciate
Just come
your
on with a book
support.
goes, Cashy twerks on the devil and he's wearing MX 97s. I'm telling you, you get all types of attention there.
But you don't got to worry about C's buying it.
The hell no.
No, he will buy it.
No, I wouldn't. I didn't watch Lil Nas X video. I'm not gonna buy the book.
He gonna support you for your decision. Though.
I might buy that book, maybe. I don't know.
I'm only putting out good material, friendly and appropriate. No devil worshipping.
No, what is the book about though? Cashy gets a job.
It is about a little puppy that she just can't get a job, and she keeps going, and she doesn't give up until she gets.
Because dogs don't work.
Well, this is loosely based on my life, if you will.
Okay.
So it's just don't give up, keep going until you win.
He got offended by that. He got offended by that. You offended him, Siege.
Oh, did I? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can tell you offended him. See, I got you.
Guru.
Well, Guru offends you all the time.
No, I don't offend you, but I think like if you had a chance to make an autobiography, I thought it'd be a little bit more different. Than
That would be different.
So that's what I'm laughing at. That's all. That's all.
The autobiography is coming soon.
But he said this is based off.
Well,
his life.
I have to live more. I have to have more experiences before I can write like a true novel about myself. This is just a kid's book
I mean,
too.
you just said
This
that's
is
a part
kind of
of
like if I give you a pitch in 20 seconds, it would be like the little engine that could 2021.
I mean, there's a lot of autobiographies that's out that you kind of like gauge it off of. But your autobiography is your story, how you want to tell it. If you want to tell the whole book in bullet points, then that's your autobiography. That's your story. That's the beauty of it. It's not like you write a children's story with, okay, what's the plot, what's the thing, the who, what, where, and how. Like, no, you can just tell your story.
Does anybody?
Yeah, I don't mind your feedback after you read it.
Okay.
You know, I will at least.
That was a good one. I like that.
Check it out on Amazon, guys.
I'm saying he's like every now and then Dunce will say something that you just can't argue with.
Thank God, that was pretty witty. I was like, save myself.
You know, he's sweating bullets right now.
Is he? Oh, okay. Take that jacket off. He ain't died.
Well, I can't. You see, this is another promotion I'm running right now.
Shout out to John. Anybody care about the Air Jordan 11s making over $175 million?
I care more about that than this Lil Nas X shoe.
Hold on.
That's
Maybe I missed it. What did you just say?
Does anybody care that the Jubilee Air Jordan 11s made over $175 million?
Because what they said they produced, what, 200 plus thousand?
No.
I'm going to guess more.
Okay,
no?
fuck it. I guess I read it. An article written by Riley Jones for Complex. Shout out to Riley, by the way. Like many of the Air Jordan 11s that came before it, the Jubilee Air Jordan 11 did significant sales despite any slowdown in spending related to the coronavirus. In Nike's recent conference call for the third quarter fiscal year 2021 earnings, CEO John Donahoe covered the swoosh's recent accomplishments, specifically citing the Jubilee Air Jordan 11 as one of Nike's largest and most successful footwear launches ever. Although John did not elaborate on how many pairs were sold, he did, however, note that the shoe generated over $175 million in revenue. At $200 or $220 at retail, that would land the amount of pairs produced at just under 800,000 pairs.
He did go back.
The reason he thought 200,000 is because Joe Herbert had the other 600,000.
That's probably what it was. Yeah. My bad.
Here's my thing. This proves my point. Don't hit me with, oh, you want to make the shoe limited BS and all that, because you clearly see when you make enough pairs that everybody wants, you still make
Dog.
even more money than your initial releases. So
my
don't hit me
God.
with this BS that you want a Kobe to have a certain pair or X, Y, and Z. Because if you want to do Kobe some justice, release shoes that everybody can buy because you're going to buy it. So the reason that shoe made all that money and probably could even make more is that if they made that shoe 300,000, the other 500,000 people who ain't get the shoe would have went on to StockX. Now those 500,000 people spend that $350 on StockX. They spent the $220 plus tax with Nike. So don't tell me that you can't make money off a shoe because it's limited when you just clearly make the most mass-produced shoe and you made a ton of money off of it.
This is why I love Guru, because he'll say something crazy and then say something intelligent.
Right here. You tripping.
No, but I'm 100% in agreement with you. That's the first thing I thought when I saw this, because first of all, they've been mass-producing the Air Jordan 11s for at least 4 or 5 years now.
The Legend Blue, maybe.
Legend
I was gonna
Blue,
say, I feel like
Space Jams were
three.
mass-produced. The Concords were mass-produced.
But I started with the
Legend
Legend
Blue
Blue.
was
The
Legend
Legend Blue
Blue
was like
Yep.
200,
The
300,000.
Reds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it started with 2014.
Maybe
the
not.
Legend
Maybe
Blues.
not the win like 82s, but I know like the win like 96s were.
Them 72 and 10s as well, like
Yeah.
all of them.
So, and I'm glad you said that, because when we talked to Nike, one of the things was, because we asked them like, why do you put Jordans on Nike ID? Well, you know, they got this prestige around it, and they feel like it would get watered down if it was on Nike ID, and that's the argument with some of these shoes. Well, we
Well,
can't
the
mass
Dunks
produce
prove
them.
that wrong, in all fairness.
Yeah.
If done or executed properly.
If the Nike, and then they'll say, well, we can't mass produce certain shoes because, once again, it will water down the value of the shoe. But yet, the Air Jordan 11 has not lost value. Every year, people lose their shit over that shoe, no matter how many pairs y'all made. I made like 1 million pairs of the Space Jams. Guess what? Try finding a pair of Space Jams now for under $300. It did not dilute the value of that shoe. Everybody still loves Air Jordan 11s. They even love the specific colorways that y'all mass produced, like the black and red joints, the playoffs that came out last year or the year before. So this whole argument that y'all got to limit production to create demand, like, you don't have to do that. Like, you see what happens, like Guru said, the more shoes you make, guess what? The more money you make. It's a win-win. We get the shoes we want, you get the money. Like, I don't understand this. That's why I be having a hard time wrapping my head around some of this logic. But because you got people working there that are trying to protect their jobs, don't know what the fuck they're talking about, they're going to keep spinning that story. They're going to keep spinning that narrative. We got to do this. No, you don't. You don't. So, I mean, that proves it right there. But, you know, God forbid, you know, we know what we're talking about. We've been doing the show since 2014.
I want to do you talk like that on your Zoom calls with them.
You should see me. Honestly,
he might have. That's why they did so many pairs of that one.
you should see me, especially last year.
You did get a pair.
Like last year when
You
they did
did
the.
get gifted a pair of Jubilees, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
And it was gift wrapped by
that
Macy's.
smile.
See, I ain't gonna lie.
We know you're not gonna lie.
I ain't gonna lie.
We
I'm
be
just
calling
saying.
you out on your shit when we know
But
you
no,
not
like, you
lying.
should have seen it. I ain't trying to put nobody's names out there, but it was like a 4-hour phone call when the whole Black Lives Matter movement really took off last year. I had like a 4-hour conversation, and like at least 2.5 of those hours was just me throwing around 4-letter words. Because at that point, I about had it. Because everybody's acting like they don't know, they don't get it. Hey, what do you think? Dog, y'all been living in America just like me for as long as, if not longer. Why are y'all acting like y'all don't see the same shit I see? I understand we got a different point of view, but goddamn, you know at least one black person, right? Why is this news to you? Why am I the first person telling you this shit? Don't get me started, bro. Y'all seen the email I sent to John. Nike.
You want some water, man?
No, I'm gonna get me high about certain subjects. I just have no tolerance for it. Black
You
history.
water
Month.
him with that green on, he gonna grow turf.
That was funny. That was funny. He laughing at his own joke. That's bullshit.
Hey, he was waiting on
I
that
know.
one.
He been down to throw that joke out all day. He crying.
That just came off the top.
That was a good one, dog. Hey,
Hey,
that was a good one.
I'm at, you know,
layup.
Dog, that was nice. Dog. I'll give you
Y'all
that.
look like the Luka Doncic and Porzingis.
I mean,
with that, 'cause y'all couldn't
you over
even
here
make
looking
it.
like Michael Finley and Dirk Nowitzki over here.
Hey, I'll take Mike Finley. Mike Finley's cool, man. One of the most underrated two guards ever.
Oh man, y'all funny.
man.
Like Ron Harper and Mark Price.
Wow, now we gonna. Hey, look, that was a dog ass Cleveland Cavaliers side.
Howard
Yeah.
Isley and Jeff Hornacek.
Hey, that Jazz team kept going to the finals. Hey, keep them coming. Come on, how many more we want to do?
Oh man,
We can't do Stockton and Malone.
Nah,
we can't be a great one, right?
Jamal Wilson, Kurt Rambis.
All right, come on. All right, now you messing it up. See, we was going
I'll
with
I'll
like.
cut you some slack. Greg
I'm
Anthony
Royce,
and John
bro.
Starks. There you go.
I mean, you gotta be a black guy.
Man,
You gotta
that's
be a
funny.
black guy. That wouldn't work.
John Starks, who's real light skin, probably the lightest light brother ever.
John Starks was a beast though for that couple seasons, and then I don't know what happened.
I mean, Have They Tongue was just partying hard, so.
Y'all funny, bro. Nike is transforming from a marketing company into a technology brand, but is creating some internal turmoil. An article written by Sashi Cement for Business Insider. Under the new CEO, Nike is transforming into a tech-first, direct-to-consumer brand. But some former employees are doubtful the swoosh can make the change or is playing to its strengths. And I'm glad this story came out after the conversation we had with Nightwing, because I feel like it plays right into it. Part of CEO John Donahoe's mission is, instead of selling shoes primarily in stores, Nike will up its innovation in a push to sell more product online and on smartphones. The upside of its plans are substantial. Nike could reap a hefty financial reward by eliminating the costly middleman between sales. It will help Nike control every aspect of how its customers buy shoes, from the first advertisement to the final purchase. And at the same time, Nike will have the essential data it needs to understand its shoppers on a deeper level. While early signs point to success, Nike said it grew its online sales by 59%. Some worry that transforming Nike from a marketing company into a technology brand is too ambitious. Business Insider spoke with 2 current employees and 5 former employees with knowledge of Nike's tech evolution. They represent varying degrees of seniority up to senior director and VP levels. Most of them feel that Nike's transformation doesn't play to the company's historic strengths and have resulted in difficult changes, including hundreds of layoffs and a major shift in the internal structure. They say that Nike was unparalleled in storytelling and product development, which is what we were harping on last week. But now the website and apps don't inspire the same passion. They don't. Over the past decade, the one driving force at Nike has been the goal of reaching the consumer directly via what the brand calls digitalization. According to remarks in Nike's latest earning call, digitalization encompasses everything on the non-physical side of the business: e-commerce, DTC, which is direct-to-consumer, and mobile apps. That strategy influences product innovation, like the 2012 Nike Fuel Band and the Sneakers app. But it also means making cutthroat moves like severing wholesale partnerships with retailers in favor of direct-to-consumer through Nike Digital and brand-owned stores, a calculated risk to use technology to tighten the bonds between the company and its most loyal consumers. Okay, one, and that last part I feel like I got to address. Who are your loyal consumers? Because if you think the people buying up your product to flip, they're not loyal. Once the next hype thing comes along, they're moving to that next hype thing and leaving sneakers behind. So don't confuse mass consumption of one product as loyalty. People that have been buying your shit for a long time, that's loyalty. Through the ups and downs. Remember when y'all was making quality, like the quality was shit, but we were still buying it? That's loyalty. Or buying the products that ain't hyped up, like, I don't know, Fusions. That's loyalty. Shout out to Jumpman Boston.
I was going to say, the only one.
Right, you know what I'm saying? People that's been buying your shit for 30 years. That's fucking loyalty. Somebody fucking buying up all the Jordan 1s that came out this Saturday to flip them is not loyalty. But if you're looking at the data sheet, you're like, oh man, this guy's loyal. He's here every Saturday buying up all our shit. That's not loyalty. That's
they love you, Dunks.
I play both sides of that.
But this goes back to the conversation we had, because last week we were talking about Nike used to be good at storytelling, and that's what created the nostalgia factor for the sneaker community to grow, for sneaker culture to grow. Because once we got big enough, we went back based on those stories, based on those marketing campaigns, based on those concepts and designs, based on all that shit. We had nostalgia. So when we grew up, got jobs, we went back looking for the sneakers that we missed out on as a kid. You know, this is why you still dropping Jordan 4 retros and Jordan 1 retros, because we want that shit because we grew up on it, right? These kids growing up now, they don't have those same stories. Yeah, they might know this dope colorway, but what's the story behind this shoe? What's the attachment? What do you relate to this shoe? You don't. You know what I'm saying? And so to hear that they're basically ditching the storytelling aspect because they're focused on data and technology, which is to say that they shouldn't do it. I mean, you know, you always, as a company, you got to evolve. But I think to do such a hard turn and completely dismiss what it is that made you great in order to do something else. I think Guru said it last week, to like leave the chick that's been holding you down to go flirt with the girl just because she knows you, like you're rich and famous now. I think it's exactly what Nike is doing, and I think long term is going to hurt them. Like, yeah, right now you're making all this money. Okay, cool. Let's be real about it. The reason that y'all making a lot of money now is because y'all moving more to direct consumers. So therefore, the money that you lost in wholesale, you're getting back. So I think that's some added context I think people need to like think about when we talk about like the money that they make. I mean, it's still $1 billion company, and that's the thing though. Y'all make great products, and that's why you're so great. But I think the attitude behind the company, I fear for it long term, because it's like, okay, yeah, you got great product, but like you can't. I think about this. Michael Jordan was the greatest endorser for any sneaker, like, because Michael Jordan can go out there, score 30, in a pair of shoes, and you want them. But it didn't just stop there. They still had the Spike Lee campaigns. You know what I'm saying? You still had the campaign with the Looney Tunes. Like, y'all still told stories. When you look at a Jordan 1, you think about what he did on the court in that particular pair of shoes, which is a story. The band Air Jordan 1, that's a story. And so even though Michael Jordan was a driving force in pushing those shoes, there was still stories being told, like Mike and, is it the shoes? There was still stories being told, and it was the combination of both those things is what took y'all to the next level, because not only do we want to be like Mike, but then we could relate to him on some level because of the marketing that you guys were doing. And so for y'all to go 100% away from that, to just throw this on some celebrity, throw this on some influencer. Yeah, that's gonna get away with it now because kids are, kids are kids. They're gonna do what they do. I think long term though, when you talk about loyalty, is that gonna retain loyalty with them, and is it gonna retain loyalty with us? And I think that's a question that they need to have seriously inside of Nike HQ. But y'all go ahead.
Well, the first thing I was gonna say is, the one thing that's going to help them be able to make this transition to really go more so direct to consumer was the fact that COVID happened. So you got a lot of these, mom and pop stores that they couldn't keep the lights on, because of situations like that. They weren't getting the foot traffic and probably still aren't getting the foot traffic now. Yeah. So for Nike, it just makes more sense for them to do that. In terms of the storytelling aspect, I've been die hard. I love marketing. I love marketing when it comes to sneakers. The problem that we see now, in my opinion, is there's no attention span. Everything is quick. So the time that it would take to be able to tell that story, they're not going to waste their time and do that. Because now it's going to be how quick, like you said, how quickly can we put a shoe on Travis Scott that has no meaning behind why he's wearing that shoe? How quickly can we put it on him? It gets all of the views, it gets all of the clicks, it gets all of the likes. Now we can sell it.
Okay, so I agree with you to a point, but I told them, like, y'all got some of that stuff there. So when y'all come out with for instance, y'all come out with a Fire Red 4. Michael Jordan already played. You got the footage. You got the commercials.
I agree.
Replay that shit. It don't even cost you nothing. You know what I'm saying?
But the problem is the attention span is so short. You got a lot of people that they don't care about what that story is. They just
know why I disagree with that? Because what happened when The Last Dance came out? All of a sudden, those Jordans that he wore in that documentary
anything black, red, or white skyrocketed.
But here's the thing that happened with that also. Everybody was stuck at home. We didn't have anything else to do.
I think it still would have had the same effect, though.
I don't think it would have had as big of an effect as how it had. Because remember, like with them Chicago ones, as soon as that episode played, like literally 30 minutes later, you go on StockX, like
because they saw the same things we saw. They saw what made him great. They saw what made that shoe what it was.
This new generation never saw Michael play on the court.
Exactly.
And this documentary was storytelling to them for the first time.
And that's
why
what
the
drove
shoes had a spike.
Exactly.
Right, but that's what I'm saying is what added to that was the fact that there was nothing else to do. So you couldn't.
I agree. To some extent,
even if there was something to do, people would have tuned in.
No, I think people would have tuned in, but I don't think that the value would have skyrocketed as much as it did as quickly.
I don't know.
People were interested in it. Think about it. They put it out at the right time.
I agree with you to an extent. I just don't know to what degree.
Yeah. The first episode would have done numbers either way. Without COVID, maybe people wouldn't have tuned in so aggressively every episode, I would say.
I agree with you on that. But everybody was anticipating that documentary.
So,
but we all got even more excited about it because they pushed the date up.
I agree.
Let me say this. One, this is not your first time trying to be a tech company because you made the Fuel Band. Tim Cook, CEO of Apple, sits on the Nike board of directors. You had Nike Plus in running shoes and basketball shoes. You had App Sync products. You have your own version of the Apple Watch. So don't say this is your first time trying to go tech. You've been had an app, you've been had a website, right? So there's nothing really else for you to do. Use biometrics and everything else when you're product and development for the shoe. So you've been using technology. So let's just that's cap. That's why I said cap during that moment. Second, as far as the second point, your direct to consumer is that people are coming into the store now because their online success has been great, has been very low. So when you say, oh, I'm making all this money online, yes, you're selling shoes online, but how much of that is actually reading all of your consumers? It's going to what, 5% because they got bots or whatever else they use? So that's why, as someone who's still in the store, people come in the store and they still buy. Actually, now the stuff that was sitting 5 years ago, 6 rings, Jordan 1 mids, all that, is blowing off the shelf. Team Jordans. So right now, you actually that all that BS product that y'all had that was sitting on the shelves that you made stores buy bulk of just to keep their retro line with you, that's actually selling now. That stuff ain't selling online. So, like, you need the direct. I don't care how big you get, you need your direct to consumer. Because everybody knowing here, their first Nike experience wasn't on the website. It wasn't at a Nike store. It was on a Foot Locker, Athlete's Foot. If you here in Detroit, Sibley's, like all of that, Mr. Allen's, whatever, DTLR, wherever you at, Success, like that's where that's at. So that's how the nostalgia and the memories are created. That's where you introduce your product to the consumer. And every shoe don't fit right. And my thing is like, I buy the shoes. Some people are like, I want to try this on for my kid. Yeah. So it's like, you need your direct-to-consumer. You need your wholesaler. You made all that money by having wholesalers. So don't tell me, oh, you got to make a little bit more money when you was making Puffer Reds and everybody else buy more bulk. You know just what? To improve prove the point to your stockholders. Oh, we up 5%. You ain't up 5%. You just made them buy more product so your numbers can look like this at your next investor meeting.
Yep. And go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, but the other thing, too, is Foot Locker is going to be their wholesaler. That's what I'm saying is they're going to do away with, like I said, a lot of the smaller mom and pop stores that they don't get that same foot traffic.
But here's the thing about it, though.
I don't think so because they got that partnership.
Here's my thing. You want to get rid of the mom and pop with everybody else. You want to get rid of the mom and pop stores, but you keep doing collabs with the mom and pop stores. Union. Undefeated, like they don't have multiple locations everywhere like Foot Locker. Like Kip has about 5 or 6 locations, but he's not like a Foot Locker or a Shoe Palace. So don't say 100%. That you want to get rid of them, but you still doing collabs with them. Like and that's my let
me add this too because I thought about this the other day. When we look at the list of the top selling shoes, right? We might see a Jordan, we might see some shoe that we recognize, but most of the shoes are like
at Dick's.
Yeah. So here's my thing. And the reason those shoes are selling is because the people coming in the stores. And so this is the way I tell people, sneaker culture is still a niche, right? So while we might buy shoes like every Saturday, there's still more people, even if they buy one shoe a year, it's still more of them than it is us.
Imagine buying one shoe a year.
I'm just saying, like they might buy like one walking shoe or whatever. And so, like you said, they'll go into a Dick's, they'll go into a DSW, and they'll see your product sitting on the shelf, and that's what causes them to buy it, right? Once you start cutting your partnership, there goes your net. Now you're not reaching those same people anymore. You're basically condensing your net and hoping that the people go to your website. Now they got to come to you for your shoes as opposed to encountering it at a DSW, at a Dick's Sporting Goods, at a mom and pop shop or anywhere else. Like I would think you would want a broader net because you can catch more fish. Once you start making that net smaller.
The only reason I could kind of see it, and I don't totally agree with it, if you say, you know what, we know y'all gonna buy this Jordan 4 no matter what, so we don't gotta put it in the store. But this Cosmic Unity, this Penny 3, like anything we want to reintroduce, we want to kind of play the long game for, we're going to put it in the store so you can be tangible. You can try it on.
But that's just the shoes we into. I'm talking about like the shoes. I mean even the more basic shoes that you'll find like a DSW or a Dick's Sporting Goods or somewhere like that. Like I think they need to keep those partnerships and keep those shoes in the stores because those end up being your big sellers at the end of the year. You sell more of those to more people than you would Air Jordan 4 to me or you.
The Monday through Friday shoes. Like, exactly. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, because some people don't know the shoes that we know. So, yes, that shoe, the Air Monarchs and the Penny 3, sadly, should be in the same shipment to your store so you can reintroduce your products. Because the purpose is, if you develop a chain, this shoe does not doing well, but we want to make it get to the point A, so we're going to put it in the store so consumers can try it, leave with it that day. They like it, release several colorways, the sale grows, the market grows from it, boom, we can add it to the only direct line. You're using the stores to reel them in, and once they reeled in, you can have them come to you directly. I see New Jack City.
And here's the thing,
same thing at the car.
And here's the thing, too. And maybe things have changed since I've grown up. My relationship was never with Nike. My relationship was the person at the store. The manager, the people, you know what I'm saying? My relationship was them. They was the ones put me up, oh, you know, these are coming out. Oh, you should try these out. Check these out.
I
so, you know
agree
what I'm
with
saying?
that.
So, but the less interaction you have with those people, now you basically what you're saying is you got to come to my app, my website, in order to buy this product, which might be fine for people who are aware of you, but for people who still like going to the stores, the people that aren't necessarily sneakerheads, they still shop at the stores. They still out there. And even if they do go online, you know how many shoes are online for them to encounter? They're not necessarily being directed to your shoe anymore.
And it's easier to scroll through look on the wall of a shoe store than scroll through pages and pages.
But what I'd be interested to see with them making that decision, I would be interested to see what their transactions look like for their online business, and also what their transactions look like in their stores.
Yeah.
Because that's why I think they're more so going to end up going to. Like, I agree, having the DSWs, even the mom and pop stores.
Because those are the shoes that end up on the top selling list.
Right, but then I wonder, what is that going to be the plan for what they do with, like, you know, their community stores? Are they going to end up putting that type of product in those stores? And then, like you said, limiting the Jordan 4, Jordan 5, the stuff that they know people are going to buy that they don't have to reintroduce. Are they just going to put that on the website?
We'll see.
I mean, that's still them being direct to consumer. They still cutting out the middleman.
Yeah, but that's understandable to put that, because you know that product already has its fan base. The purpose of the retailers is to establish a fan base and introduce it. And my thing is, stop spending money on marketing on shoes you know gonna sell out. Put your money into some Huarache. Put your money into some
what do they market?
I would like to see them push Huarache.
You know, like the Penny 3s that just came back out. You know how dope would have been to see a little Penny commercial?
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, what do they market? Because I feel like they don't put any marketing money in anything.
Energy into those products to reintroduce it to themselves, because Jordan was the greatest player. You caught lightning in the bottle with him, so his shoes gonna sell over time.
Yeah.
But the pennies of whoever made great shoes just like him, you need to be able to
No,
retell
I
that story
agree.
energy throughout the time. My thing is, if you're not gonna make a commercial for Jordan Cool, because his name has done that for you, right? You put your leg in work in the beginning, but you need to kind of still rehash some things.
But see, here's the thing, and this is the last thing I would say. Yes, the product is dope, and you know, but the thing about the product isn't necessarily the thing that resonates with us. It's the story behind the product
They're terrible at raising awareness for the product that's not hype.
And that's the reason why we keep coming back. Like, once again, I'm using the black and red Air Jordan 1, the band ones. The story behind it is why that shoe is the most coveted colorway out of most of all of them, is because the story behind it. That's the part that resonates with us. Like, looking at that shoe, it's not... I mean, let's be honest. As far as the Air Jordan 1, it's not an ugly shoe. I mean, it's dope. But is it the best colorway?
I mean, I'm literally wearing that colorway around my neck right now.
I would say the Chicago. There's been better colorways than the black and red Air Jordan 1. Like the Chicago's, I think is the better colorway.
But that's the iconic colorway.
But it's the iconic color. But the point is, the story behind it is what makes that iconic, right? Like, even when you think about it, right? I can, like, this is a piece of paper, right? But if let's just say LeBron James came in here right now and signed it. Now this thing has value. Why? Because LeBron James signed it. It's the story of him coming in here signing it that gives this thing value. Right? It's the stories behind
But my thing is, the marketing, you can't say, well, nobody watches commercial anymore. Nobody watches this. Cool. So y'all quote-unquote marketing now is throwing it on somebody's feet. It'll be dope to see Brian or PG walk through the tunnel with some Penny Ones on. It would be dope to see Travis Scott with some Gary Paytons on. Not for me, but for those people who follow him like that, to have some Gary Paytons on. If you want to say your storytelling, that is what. Or how about you just do a commercial and just have people, Nike athletes, or it can be normal people, reminisce on the stories of, this is my first time with my Penny One. Like, this is my, like, you can do that.
You can.
No, I agree.
But black backdrop, here go a shoe, talk about it. Like, for a commercial, it's not that hard.
It's
man.
not. But like I say, they refuse to do it.
It's not that hard.
Because I've always said, I would love to see a LeBron James. I missed the LeBrons in the commercial. Man, I missed the Kobe and LeBron puppets.
How do you not make the shoe when he passed Kobe? How do you not make a Muppets commercial with him and Kobe when he passed Kobe? How do you not make it when he won it? Yeah, Jordan. How you not make it when he won a chip the same year Kobe passed? How do you not take advantage of all that? You gave him a PE, but it'd been nice to sell that shoe.
That's what I'm saying.
Like that, it's just the opportunity and the awareness of
Once
it.
Again,
but you gotta be passionate when you in those positions. You gotta be passionate. Those people are not. You got passionate.
People with degrees trying to pad their resumes, don't give a shit about sneakers, are the ones who are making these decisions. Not, you know what I'm saying? Not to say that everybody got to be a sneaker guru, but if you're going to work for a sneaker company and you're going to be the decision maker, I would like to think you would have some type of thought as far as the community, the history, the
but
culture.
that goes to the company. They see, can you run a business? Not are you in tune?
I
But
was
you can
gonna
have,
say,
but you
like-
can have both though. You can have both.
Thank
you can say,
you.
you know what? I need a dude who know how to good with numbers, who can grow the business, who good at metrics, but also need somebody who's in tune and know what the people want. Because as long as, like I said, if you respect the culture, the money will come. If you give the product that people
Thank
want,
you.
the money's going to follow. This person here to manage the company, make sure don't go open, make sound business decisions. But this person over here is funneling you the money. The
They got
traffic.
they got their foot in the game.
And I mean, I'm not the most religious person, but I always think about like, Solomon. When he got the, God said, like, what do you want? Like, he could have asked for power. He could have asked for money. He asked for wisdom because you know why? Because when you get wisdom, you make wise financial decisions. So you're going to end up rich anyway. When you have wisdom, you're going to make wise strategical decisions. So you're going to win every battle you get anyway. So, like, you know what I'm saying? So when you make wise decisions and you ain't just so focused on the dollars and cents of things, you're going to end up getting that anyway. Like you said, if you take care of the culture's going to take care of you. So I don't understand whatever. That's another show. We all out of time, and I can just go on all day. But shout out to John. I feel like I'm about to butcher your name. Mowhi.
John Mowhi on behalf of Mowi
yes.
Law.
Yes. If you are in the city of Detroit or in the Detroit area and you have anything legal you need handled, that's the guy to do it.
I got traffic tickets.
If Nike's suing you over a shoe, you definitely want to get him. On your
Speaking
side.
of, actually, he just handled the copyright for my book, which is again available on Amazon.
Jesus Christ. On that note, once again, we want to send our love and condolences to the family of Dave Phillips. Yes. This show is definitely dedicated to him because this is the type of show we would have.
Oh, he would have. I know he's probably looking down like.
I wish.
Yeah.
Put that picture back up, man. Like I miss that. I really do. So shout out to Dave, man. And on that note, we're gonna leave y'all with Jumpman's word of the week.
What up, though? Another great show by the guys. Your main man, Jumpman Bostic. I'm here in the basement with the word of the week. The word of the week is
Can't hear what he's saying.
Stop being weak. Not W-E-E-K, W-E-A-K. Be a leader. Be a voice. Be someone who wants to see change. Stop following the sheep. Be a wolf. Be a lion. Let people know when they're doing negative, when they're doing negative things. Stand up to them. Don't follow them. Don't entertain that mess. That goes for life, not just sneakers. People out here just looking to come up off of somebody else because they have no gain. They have nothing. So they got to try to capitalize off of somebody else. That's not just in the sneaker community. That's in everyday life. But you have got to be the person to let them know when they're doing wrong. Tell people to do better. Don't follow them. Don't entertain the mess. That's the word of the week. Do better. Make a change. If it's in you. If it's not in you, then continue to be the sheep that you are. But if you want to be the wolf, stand up and let people know they need to do better. They can do better if they want to. It's in everybody. All right, it's your main man, Jumpman Bostic. I'm fading to the back from the basement of the J's. I'll catch you next week at the end of the show. Peace.